sold my soul to the bottle. Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
All right, wow. Somebody's really high. Probably that one. It's 10 Drink Minimum. It's the last party of the weekend. I am your host, Chris Burnett, and this show is sponsored by Topo Chico Seltzer. Yum. Holly Ann is here.
I am here.
And James Smiley is here.
I sure am.
You look good on that camera.
Not late.
No? Well, the show was late, but you're not late.
Yeah, I was already briefed before that. You were going to be late. So.
I was like, smile.
Very nice. Very nice, Chris.
And from the band Manhigh, we have Gabe Gambino. There we go.
Hey.
Sorry, man. We're just kind of ragged. I've been
Dude,
going since Thursday every night.
We live in Albuquerque. It's
Yeah.
it's a place to be ragged, you know.
Ah, man, you know what?
If you have a good week, just go with it.
Yeah.
It's a ragged city, right?
It's a good city, and it's I love it here. And yeah, but yeah, it's easy to get ragged here.
Yeah.
We all have like 4 jobs and
right.
8 different things that we do. You know.
Yeah,
That's not a lie.
It really isn't.
It really is not.
really is not.
Oh, so everybody's kind of. Somebody says Gabe is the man.
Oh, hi, Jim. Hey.
That is incorrect. No, I'm just kidding.
We used to have a podcast. That's
Yeah.
why we were just talking about that.
Yeah, we were like before the show. I was like, you were our sworn enemy. I was like, we have to take them down at all costs. I did not say that. John.
So we ended up taking ourselves down because it was, it was an MMA podcast. So it was like we had fighters, professional fighters on the show, and it's already awkward to be on camera and
Yeah.
we'll have a microphone in front of you.
Yeah.
People say things.
It's really weird because, like, somebody says, Gabe, I'm your biggest fan. John Carrillo, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
John, you were also incorrect.
Well, thank you, buddy.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He's only saying I was his teacher in barber school.
So, I am your teacher.
No, we work at a barber shop together.
Nice.
Now I can say that we work in a barber shop together.
Did
legally.
you become a barber because of the movie Barber Shop?
Oh yeah. No, it was after Ice Cube was on Tucker Carlson. I was like, hell yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's exactly the
You're
guy.
all, that guy was a barber and a rapper. I'm going to do both of those
So
things.
cool. No, no, actually, I became a barber because my wife was like, "Oh, you're in a band? Like, you need a fucking job."
Oh.
Oh.
So I started Googling jobs. I was like, that are good for musicians, And I was like, hey, barbers are,
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's like an artistic thing, you
Yeah.
know? Like, you figure out, like, the science and then you do the art.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what I mean? Once you do it long enough, you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, I'm doing the art side of it now,
Yeah.
where you're, like, looking at somene's head and you're like, okay,
You know what would
I'm
be
gonna
great on
figure that
you?
out.
Some fender sides.
Yeah, right.
I don't even know what that means.
It's like I don't know, like big, long, like the sideburns that go into the hair. I don't know, something.
Oh, yeah,
What?
yeah.
Something. I don't know.
There's some wild hair out there.
Look what Smiley has.
No, what? That's not what I have.
I know. I'm
Is it?
kidding. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know, Smiley.
But yeah, once I got into, like, I was like, cool, like, you have a job, you can take weekends, and
Yeah.
you just have to call your clients and be like, hey, I'm going to play some shows or
So
whatever.
do you cut hair on the weekend? I guess that's the biggest.
I do. I teach hair like 3 days a week, and then I pretty much cut hair during the day on the weekends, and
Yeah.
it all makes the shop so much funner.
Yeah.
Yeah. People do think I'm.
Where's your shop at?
It's over so by Walter White's car wash over there on Manhigh.
Oh, way over there,
like
man.
Manhigh, like between Moon and Eubank.
Oh, that's pretty far
Ooh,
over
fun.
there.
Yeah. And I live on the west side, so it's like
Jesus.
yeah.
Well, that's like
Gosh,
the
that's a-
opposite
I just
Right.
love, but you don't want to be the guy that moves all the time, you know.
You drive like to Phoenix every morning
Basically,
for work.
it's like an Amarillo,
By morning.
Yeah, Yeah. I actually, like, I've never envisioned having a job I liked.
Are you like
Do you like being a barber?
Like Hoffmantown? Is that like where that's
Kind
at?
of, yeah. Like,
Oh,
just
damn.
past there, yeah. It's, I like it, though, you know. I really like... Like, I've never made money before, you know,
You're, like,
in my
weird.
adult life. Like,
Is being a barber? I mean, my grandfather was a barber.
yeah,
Is it a really profitable job?
it absolutely is.
What freaks you out? Like when you're a barber, like when someone comes in, like has lice or
Do my first, so at the shop I'm at now, my first day, there was a guy and I was like, hey, I can get you back here, buddy, you know. He rips his shirt off.
rips his shirt off.
Like, he just, starts, and then he starts walking back, and I was like,
I pictured like the Hulk Hogan where he's just
if he would have did that, I was like, all right, that's my man right
Yeah.
there. That's my dude. But no, he just took it off, and then he's like, I'm not going to fucking get hair all over my fucking shirt.
Oh.
Right? And like that. And then he
Okay.
was like, yeah.
you're
He was
you're
one of
right.
those-
You're right. You're not. Get out.
Yeah.
A little aggressive.
Yeah,
little
no, he
aggressive.
was definitely, but then he also, you know, like, dudes like that, it's when I pull the veteran card, because I'm like, I really don't in real life, like, I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
But you could tell that he would be impressed by something like that.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, oh, yeah, when I was in the Army, like, just casually. And he's like, oh, this guy's cool.
All of a sudden, he's
Yeah.
he's one of those guys that's like, really?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he takes like the bass down.
Exactly. No, he was,
Oh.
yeah. The bass exited his voice, and then he saw me a couple more times, but also he's one of those guys, he's like, I'll never cover my grays, like, once I have them, you know, I'm like getting them in my beard and stuff, and I'm
Same,
like,
yeah.
I think it's a privilege to have them.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna stick with it.
I've earned all of this.
But yeah, but he was one of those, like, when you cut his hair short, you know what I mean? All the Just for Men was like getting cut off, and he's like, he's like, what's up with it? I'm like,
What's up with the color of my hair?
Yeah.
Hey, why is my hair a different color now? What'd you do?
What'd you do? Are you making me older? I'm
I
like,
have to tell you,
He sounds like a just idiot.
I had to teach myself how to cut my husband's hair over COVID.
Oh yeah.
It is
that's
so,
been a popular thing. And cutting men's hair sucks. It's hard.
I thought it was going to be easier.
How?
It's hard. And now we have to
They
cut-
seem to not have a problem down at the supercuts. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they do.
I think that's where you go to, like, for your
it
career
really
to
seems
die.
like they have.
Yeah.
A
That's like
problem.
when you stop caring.
yeah, just go to
What are you trying to say, man? $12.
Is it $12?
Something like that. Yeah.
I think nowadays they're like 30.
No, it's $17.89.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I'm just
That's
kidding.
what
Sorry.
that's what schools charge.
Yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, you're
sorry, I'm
fine.
sorry.
Do you cut toddler hair?
I do actually. Yeah, I've
'Cause
cut
we-
down to 2-year-olds.
We do my 2-year-old's hair,
Oh.
and it is crazy.
Do you do the Christian Leitner like wedge cut, or
No.
is that still popular these days with the kids?
There's all kind. Like, the kids get what they get. You know. I'm sorry. Like, there's. Well, because some people get mad when we're like, yeah, your kid's cut is going to cost what an adult's cut costs.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you're literally fighting against them
Yes.
for like
I
an
have
hour.
to hold him down.
Yeah.
You can't-
Sometimes the parents have to get in the
Yeah.
chair
You,
and then
you can't trank them, or
and then hold them.
That's an idea.
That's an extra like cost. Hold on, we can trank your child for you.
My, yeah,
you're all
I'm like, that's extra. I'm not paying. I'm not fronting this dart.
They're all yeah,
It's
they're-
down.
And then you're like,
got it.
you're like, no, don't hold them, let them go. This is fun for me.
Yeah, no, it's a pain in the ass, but yeah, my dad calls it the ether game. Like, I'm the ether bunny, and yeah,
Wow.
my parents watch our baby a lot, so
Okay.
yeah, we got a 1-year-old at home.
I don't know
so.
if I would after that comment. I would be like, Dad, I don't.
Like, just make it quiet.
Your dad's
Just make it
your dad's
quiet.
all your kid was great all day. It's called
Yeah.
whiskey.
Yeah. Oh, you know, like the teething thing. I mean,
Oh.
that's like the wives' tale, but it's like, you know, it's worth exploring if you're listening.
Well, we let our son, he's now 2, when he was like 1.5, my husband would drink scotch, and our son thought it was cool, so he's like, I'm going to let him have a little taste. He's not going to like it after that. Well, that backfired.
Oh yeah, when you find out your kid likes booze.
Loves it. I mean, I don't know why I was surprised. He's mine and Hamster's child,
Yeah.
so he's already an alcoholic.
Now he's on to 40s in the parking lot.
Yeah, we got the. Yeah, when you got the predispositions, you know, you gotta. be mindful. Like,
Wow.
so I'm like,
Or you could just love it. You just have to like
Just
make
embrace
it around
it.
like you're gonna be a sommelier. You have the taste.
professional alcoholic.
Wow. Jeez.
Call
Like,
it what
I love
you
one.
will.
Yeah.
Someone will pay you for this skill.
He'll just be a brewer like his dad. It's fine.
He's all in the 6th grade. He's all, yeah, that's from.
My teacher is drunk.
He's like, I smell the earthiness.
Right? Yeah. Notes of caramel.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, when people say notes of things, or
Yeah.
like it's I learned the word mouthfeel like about a month ago, and
Until you understand
Finish.
that poop
yeah, I could finish.
is part of a wine, then you're not really taking it seriously.
There's shit in the wine.
I feel
Like
this
literal poop?
tastes a little bit like
I mean, it
feces.
can be fertilizer, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. It works with the pepper.
Okay. That's disgusting. I'll never drink wine again. I'm not a wine person anyway.
I'm not.
And-
You know, like the first Manhigh tour, somebody kept buying us wine,
Yeah.
and I was the only guy that drank it. Like, I
No.
was like, you guys don't want any of this? Like,
Yeah, shit don't cost nothing,
I'm
bro.
like, you guys are bitches, dude. Like, and that was like the one day. It was like 6 weeks of touring. The one day I didn't drive is because I could not wake up the next day.
Oh,
they like
gosh.
literally had to carry me to the van.
I didn't get into wine until I became a mom.
Yeah, my wife's having the same. She's discovering
the
Yeah.
rosé.
Oh, does it have alcohol content? I
Oh,
will
nice.
drink it.
if she tells me to bring home wine, she's like, I'm like, I get the tiny boxes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
get
yeah,
her a
those are
sampler.
good.
Like I make a sampler for her.
The
I'm like,
tiny
let's find out what
boxes
you're.
are not bad.
It's like
Okay.
3 glasses.
And recyclable.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I like where they make it now where it just comes in the little glass. You just peel the top off. And,
Oh, that's too small. I discovered
wow.
No,
I
you got to go
discovered-
bang for your buck.
one of my insulated cups that I carry around at home can hold half a bottle of wine.
Wow.
Only half.
Ask me how I discovered that.
You drank a half a bottle of wine.
Well, it's called I needed wine at school pickup, and they frown upon a bottle of wine at
Yeah,
school
you can't
pickup.
pull the bottle out.
Yeah.
Then you
so-
look like you look crazy. You look like you have a problem.
You look like a real person. And they get jealous.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like dating a stripper or something. They say that.
Oh, I don't know.
What's like dating a stripper is like eating sun chips at a church. You know,
Wow.
like everybody's gonna look at you like you're an asshole, but deep down they want one.
I've
too.
only dated 2 strippers in my life. Weirdly.
It's yeah.
People like
Did they ever get that dental degree?
Yeah, right. That's called cocaine. No.
Like I just need to pay my light bill. And you're like, you mean plug?
Well, one of them was what is his name? The guy with the eye patch, the singer, Al Hurricane.
Oh yeah.
One of them was his granddaughter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
We're
That's
going
a-
to
that's
get
a-
killed now, man. Why would you say that?
Yeah.
Why am I gonna get killed?
Dude, the Hurricane Mafia is gonna come after you.
Oh,
you
I
know?
hope not. I'm just saying. I dated his granddaughter. She was a former stripper
Okay.
Oh,
in
okay,
in
former.
Vegas. In Vegas.
Oh, in
Oh.
Vegas. Okay, so she's like a real deal. She's not like
Yeah.
knockouts or something.
No, gosh, no.
Yeah.
Not that knockouts is well.
It's a
yeah.
fine establishment.
Don't knock knockouts, okay?
I don't.
You know.
I don't. That's-
I'm sure a lot of people enjoy knockouts.
They,
I'm
sure, but they don't even have food like TD's does. you
Good
know?
lord, TD's has food now.
But they have
They've
the
always
cheapest
had
cigarettes
food.
downtown.
You're right, because like TD's like gold back in the day when it was around.
Yeah, my lawyer used to try to like on Fridays would be like, "Hey,
They'd have
you want to
like,
go to surf and turf on
yeah,
Friday?"
steak and lobster, and I'm
And
like,
it's really good, actually. Or it
Let's say
was.
steak and
Yeah.
lobster.
Yeah,
Right.
you know.
Let's
but
put that in big fat quotations.
here's what cracks me up too is like I have all these friends that are like highbrow and they're like they're not the people you go, hey, let's go to a strip club together. And most of them like had lived in Portland for a while, and we were talking about food, and they were talking about food in Portland, and then like they were like, oh, you know where it's really good to eat is like the whatever, and it's a strip club, and everybody's like, yeah, that is really good food. And I was like, I'm sorry, you guys were eating at a strip club, and
Yeah.
you say it had excellent food,
Yes.
and they're like, yeah, it's well known in Portland. And it just blew my brain out of my head. And there's like, there's a vegan one that's really good. There's one you can get a steak at. And I was like, I don't know who you people are.
you know what? The truck stop strip club I worked at had
Yep.
really great pork chops.
Was this in Moriarty?
Yep.
Yes.
I got offered to play there a few times.
Oh, I bet you did. And you know what?
I remember.
and then the
strippers
stabbing
hated that.
happened. The stabbing happened.
Like you stabbed someone or someone
No,
got stabbed
somebody-
over
The
Somebody got
stabbing
stabbed.
or the shooting?
I don't know, but
Well,
But, like,
be
when
more
they said
specific,
tr-
Gabe.
when
Come
they-
on.
when they said truck stop strip club, I was like,
Oh.
I'm like so intrigued. I need to know what.
Well,
this
Vice did a whole
documentary.
a documentary on it.
What?
Well, they did this. Okay, these two women did this like docu series where they travel. It was like on the web only, where they traveled across the United States, doing jobs that are known as jobs that are particularly known as a job women do.
Right.
And
So-
how hard it is.
Yeah, like
truck stop
or
stripper.
administrative assistant.
Right.
But like they both did the truck stop in Moriarty, and at one point, like it's very, very hard to watch.
Oh, and it was tame compared to what it was actually. I wasn't a stripper there. I was a bartender.
Stripping
but
bartender, nice.
Nobody. I tried to get on stage one time.
Yeah.
And I was like, absolutely fucking not.
Well, just like anything
I wanted
else,
to punch every man
Yeah.
in the throat.
and
That's
just
really-
like any other career, it's not easy to do.
No.
And that truck stock was very rough.
Yeah.
My friends would take me there because they thought it was funny when truckers would try to pick me up.
Wow,
I was a very pretty young man.
he had a pretty.
You're
mouth.
still you're a pretty adult man now.
I know.
You're a
now
handsome man.
Now I can defend myself. But when I
Right.
was in my early 20s, they thought it was hilarious to go out there with the dreams of fireworks. And they're like, also, we were going to go over here and
Oh yeah, that's the
we're
firework
gonna
place.
we're gonna get within like a split second of a trucker stealing you, and then we're gonna come and get you because it's funny for
Wow.
us.
I
You had-
digress, though.
Those are not called friends.
Those, yeah. I digress, though. The pork chops there were dope.
Yeah.
Really
Okay.
good.
Yeah, I used to work up in the Cedar Crest at a barbecue establishment, and it was
What was that? What was the
Oh.
name of that place?
it's called Ribs, but
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
Ribs, by the way.
Have you heard what happens at Ribs now?
Well, I was like, I was a dishwasher there, and I was like, hey, this place should not be open.
Oh, because it
Oh.
was filthy.
It was gross,
Yeah.
and
Well-
honestly, they didn't clean up after themselves, and then they became all crazy after COVID. I think.
Yeah,
Yep,
the QAnon meets there.
Oh, good.
That's
they're
the
doing
official-
they're doing their great work over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the official meeting place of.
This week we're
QAnon.
covering Jewish space lasers. Lasers, you know?
They're like, you're like, yeah, at the Moriarty strip club, there was a stabbing and a shooting. Anyway,
And then
pork chops are amazing. 5 stars.
Well, I remember them telling me like, "Hey, that's it was like he had some fucking like Zeke or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's Zeke over there. He was stabbed at the strip club." And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
And he like opens his eyes, and only one of them's there, and you're like, oh,
Dude, I had it. So I shaved my shit into a handlebar mustache to like mock them.
oh wow,
And fuck Ribs, by the way. But actually, that's how we got our first demo done as Manhigh.
by fucking ribs, nice.
Yeah, I was like washing dishes. and
washing
then-
dishes.
Yeah, but they also, it's like, it was weird because it's like a 15. I lived off like Tramway and
They're gonna hear
I-40.
this now. They're gonna come after us.
Oh, I hope they do. No, that they. Oh, I
Try
hope.
and find
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to burn a bridge with the QAnon.
I like how Smiley
meeting
just
place,
said,
you know?
"Try and find me." Someone has shot through your house off before, dude.
I know.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. No, I had the.
I could have covered that bullet hole, but I didn't.
No, you got to leave them there sometimes. Like, let them know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit. You know.
Yeah.
But they, when I was working over there, it was like, I lived 15 minutes. I lived off Tramway and I-40,
Wow.
and it was a 15-minute drive maybe.
Yeah.
And they treated me like, oh yeah, we don't go into town very much.
Oh yeah.
And I'm
Oh,
like,
the-
bro, right? They're all integrity about it. Like, yeah, we don't go down there.
Oh,
and I'm
that's,
like, yeah,
that's where all the assholes live.
yeah, right. I'm like, yeah, 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't go to the Greenside Cafe because all them libtards are there.
Yeah.
Right.
That was fun. Oh my god! What's funny is like they're talking about the band Bush, and they're like, "It's not all gay like Gavin Rosdale." And I was like, "Why do you
What?
know his name? Like,
Yeah.
like,
Why
also,
are you
who
so-
knows who the singer of Bush is?"
Also, he
it
had
sounds
children-
like you're a big fan.
Right.
so.
And he
Yeah.
had children with Gwen Stefani, I think.
Yeah, I think he's doing pretty good.
I think he's probably not.
You know, like like he's he's like, really? Are these kids? These kids I had with like Gwen Stefani, like a lot, the object of a lot of people's affection back in the '90s.
Oh yeah, probably
Is
the
that gay?
prettiest kids.
Right.
Is that gay? Putting two?
Well, you
Putting
know
two
why?
in Gwen?
Well, you know why they say that, because he was a good-looking man, and they're all, he's too pretty.
Oh, I know, right? They're like, that's gay. Like
Right.
showering and washing your hair is gay. By the way, I saw Bush like open for Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
Like we did the VIP for his letter there.
Oh, yeah.
And it was it was like Bush. I forgot how many bangers. And then we saw Breaking Benjamin. I was like, I always thought they were kind of corny.
I don't care what people say about the 90s. Bush was awesome.
Bush was great. That's what every guitar player, well, at least like I was like 12 when I started playing guitar. And I was like, wow, like 16 Stone was like the thing you learn to.
Go on YouTube, and anybody, go on YouTube and watch Gavin Rossdale by himself, MTV Spring Break in the rain doing Glycerin, and tell me that sucks. Come on.
Dude, when he did it at his Letta, I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had a couple Thug Dubs. I was like, I was like, I was like, fuck, man, this is beautiful. And everybody else left the stage, and one of those things too is like you notice like Bush, they have like a 19-year-old kid on guitar too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What's like they switch them out. They're like, all right,
oh,
hey.
So it's not the original lineup.
It's
never mind. I'll never see him again.
It's most right. Was like I saw Alice in Chains too, and they're like,
oh yeah. What does the guy who's playing for Lane say? I heard he sounds a lot like him.
He does, and he plays guitar. Actually, he shreds.
Actually, who was playing? I think Jerry Cantrell. Mm-hmm. Jerry Cantrell was doing a solo set, or was playing at El Rey.
I wanted to go to that so
and
bad.
Whoever the guy is that filled in for Lane Staley, was with him.
Well, I mean, he's been in the band for like since 2006.
Right, 7. But they weren't playing as like Alice in Chains. They were playing as Jerry Cantrell. And so I didn't go in, but I'm standing outside at the launch pad, and I hear fucking Rooster, and I was like, holy shit, that dude sounds fucking like Lane
Dude, I've
Staley.
seen them twice. I kind of followed them pretty hard after that, and I was like, dude, like they got the family's like the Staley family's blessing and all that shit, like, and Jerry wrote the songs anyway,
right? Yeah.
So I was like, it always bugged me when people, if somebody from a band dies and they're like, it's not the fucking band, and it's like, yeah. Well, so what's everybody else going to do?
Right.
Are they going to not pursue their dreams?
What about that guy who sings for Journey now?
The Filipino guy?
I saw him, too.
Actually, I think there's like multiple people that do it now.
That guy's...
Wait, really?
From what I understand...
I think that guy is like their dude now.
Well, and I think they have two. Like, they sing different songs.
I saw them back in like 2015 at his Letta.
Yeah.
And I had just gotten off probation for DWI. Mm-hmm. And, of course, I just saw the Snapchat videos I posted the next day. Like, I don't remember the concert at all. It's like Doobie Brothers and Journey.
Oh.
But I had two of those, like, Lime-A-Ritas.
Oh. But
which
they
is
sell
like
the huge ones.
Yeah, imagine going sober for like a year and then like having two of those back to back.
Oh, right to the dome.
Right. Dude, straight up like chugging. I was like, this is like soda, dude. This is amazing.
You took a Journey.
Yeah, dude. The Journey was like the embarrassment of like I was crying and singing to Journey. Right, with this, it's just the most shaky bullshit. Like,
so my girlfriend and I went to Sandia and we saw Billy Idol. Oh, I don't know, 4 months ago.
Oh, I think one of my clients went.
It was one of those things where she really wanted to go. She's like, Billy Idol is going to be at Sandia, and she's like, I'm going to get us tickets, and I'm kind of like, cool, yeah, whatever, man. And I don't necessarily know that I want to see Billy Idol, and then we get out there and he does the show, and I'm like, man, Billy Idol fucking kicks ass, and he still does.
He still has the same guitar guy too.
Oh, dude. I have a story about that guy. What was his fucking name?
Steve
Stevenson.
Yeah, Steve. Yeah.
No, that's not his name.
He's like double Steved up.
Oh, dude. He still has the hair sprayed up hair. He still has like leopard print guitar. So they're playing, right? All of a sudden, Steve Stevenson starts going, wow, now, 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 the Top Gun song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fucking weird, right? Like, why would out of nowhere the guitar player from Billy Idol start playing
did that shit, didn't he?
He what?
He did that.
He
shit,
wrote that shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that all right, that was fucking cool. Billy Idol though, like he's like 67 or 68 years old. He's up there. He gets up on his like monitors and he's like pulling his shirt off, and I'm all no, and then he does, and my girlfriend's like yeah, and he does, and I'm like, okay, if I'm that age and I look like Billy Idol, I'll be fine, dude. Yeah,
I'm doing all right.
What's really funny is like it's at Sandia. I don't know if you've been to that little amphitheater out front.
That's one of those places I've never been.
It's a great place to see a show.
I like that place.
I think it holds like maybe 5,000.
What?
But it doesn't feel like it.
Okay.
It feels smaller.
Intimate, yeah.
Yeah,
I saw
close.
Queens of the Stone Age in a place like that.
Yeah.
Which it was like the smallest show on their tour. I randomly picked that date.
Yeah.
But I like that like medium size. Like,
yeah. But it was really funny. So at one point, well, it was really funny because there was a lot of women there in their like late 30s, late 30s, 40s, early 50s.
That's younger than I would have thought.
Well, no. There's well, let me finish my thought here. I'll tell you. There was a lot of women that were older, but there was a lot of them that you could tell that when they were in their 20s, they were backstage at a lot of shows. They had the pleather pants on. Like there was like women like in their 40s, teased up blonde hair, pleather pants, and then just a bra on.
Just haven't let it go.
No.
There's dudes like that too.
Haven't let it go. And then at one point,
So you're saying there's a lot of Billy Idol's daughters were there?
people
Possibly.
that would have slept with Billy Idol that night if they could have. And one of them, and it really cracked me up because like one of them gets up on this dude's shoulders, and they start going down the middle of the aisle.
Oh my god!
And my girlfriend's like, "What are they doing?" I was like, "She's gonna show her boobs to Billy Idol."
Right.
And the funny thing is like you've been on stage many times, many places. I've been on stage. Holly Ann's been on stage. Smiley's been on stage. People don't realize when you're on stage, if someone is like pointing at you that they see you, you're either right up to the stage or they're full of shit.
Right.
Because you cannot see.
I don't
Can't
know.
see
I can
anyone.
always see boobs.
Well, but I mean, as far back as
Just kidding.
right. So this is what cracks me up. So,
Nobody
like,
flashes
laser vision.
comedians'
so,
boobs.
so during the show, Billy Idol is walking around stage and he's pointing to like he's like
Right.
and everybody's like, yeah, he's pointing. No, he's just pointing.
Yeah. Pro tip: we don't know.
Yeah,
we
you
don't
don't-
know what we're pointing
Yeah,
at.
and so I was like that, and my girlfriend's like, is she really gonna do that? Come on. And I was like, hey, here's
Yes.
the thing, Billy Idol can't see that, so if she does do it, it's for us.
Yeah.
It's not.
Shoot your shot, lady.
Or the camera. Yeah.
Yeah,
Shoot that titty shot. You
Right.
know.
You do it.
yeah.
But that's the
No.
thing. Yeah. Most of the time, it's like we don't know. We don't know. Sometimes I point at people and they're probably like. It's always like the,
That's
but
me.
sometimes, yeah, when I see the person like that, then I'm like, then that person gets in my head.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many people are doing this.
I saw
Like it's the one guy,
see, I've heard
it's
that
the one guy
before.
like that, and I'm like, I'm gonna play for that motherfucker. Then
And comedians talk about that. They're like, they can always see the one person not laughing.
Oh,
yeah.
always. I can
And-
always find them.
I just zone everyone out.
I can't.
I mostly do that now. Like
That's good.
When we
It's
did
good
the-
that you do. I'm just kidding.
our last show that doing the Duke City Championship Wrestling show, you know what I mean? It's like they didn't know that a band was playing,
Right.
So you get up there and you're like, oh,
And
right, and they get in there like, the fuck is what?
and it's not. Yeah, like you're. Not only did they not know, they're not there for that.
Right. But like the few people, because like
They are
when we
now.
got off later, yeah.
But
When
you
we-
did well.
Yeah, no, it was a success for us. But it's like, when we got off stage, they're like,
Boy, that crowd gets hot, man.
yeah, oh my god. Because at first they were like, oh, when I walked out there to do the national anthem with the guitar, right?
Yeah.
And people were like, boo. We went like start the wrestling, you know. There's a few people that were like, what the fuck?
And then you start playing it though. Then they're like,
Yeah, and
oh,
then they're
oh.
like,
Then they're
oh,
like,
shit.
they're like, okay,
Right.
okay. That crowd. I mean, you haven't been, have you? Dude,
It's incredible.
it's like Smiley's been.
Yeah.
It gets fucking loud in the El Rey with that crowd.
And they chant everything.
They chant everything.
Everything's a chant.
There's a group in the crowd that has a fake skeleton dressed up as a person
Oh.
in the front row. I don't really know why, but
I did not notice that.
you didn't. It's like right on the left side if you're looking at the ring when you walk in. People get fucking rowdy. Like when you're in the ring, and the crazy thing too is there's an audience on the stage.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
So
place.
so when you walk through the curtain, people are to the right and to the left of you.
Oh.
And then, there's the audience down low, then there's the audience out by the board, then there's the audience up in the upper area.
It's everything.
It's everything. And people are going nuts. And so I'll get out there in the ring and people are just yelling different things from both sides.
Oh my god! Yeah, I took some video because I didn't know. I don't know the etiquette of the wrestling show, but I was like, I used to love wrestling when I was
Yeah.
a kid, and I was like, this is a good fit for us, because we're like a 2-piece band.
Yep.
We're like logistically easy, and also we're like
rock and wrestling.
Right. It's like the energy we do is like, I'm like, I was confident that pro wrestling fans are going to like us. And it turned out to be true.
Yeah. They were like chanting your name. Like they were like, man, hi, man. Hi.
Yeah.
And
my favorite part is when the house music came up and somebody's like, fuck that.
Manhigh.
We want fucking Manhigh back.
Yeah. Someone did do that. And like, you're like, damn, has that ever happened to you before? Like,
right. Nobody's like, hey, man, like, you stick around. We have another band coming up. And they're like, fuck that band. Right. Like, we don't do that. Like, it's an environment you're not used to.
That's such an Albuquerque thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Because,
well, here too is like, if you fucking suck, like I've done shit where my friends have been like, it kind of fucking sucked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when people's like, if you can make it in New York, you can make it. And I'm
Right.
like, no, New Mexico.
You can make it in Albuquerque.
Because New
You can
Mexico,
make it
like
here.
your fucking family and your friends will be like, you're kind of dog shit.
You know who didn't make it here is Chris D'Elia.
Oh yeah.
No, Chris D'Elia, and he.
Well, he
is
made
not-
it into a sex offender registry, probably, maybe.
Yeah. After he trashed our city a bunch of times.
Yeah,
Oh.
right. It's what it is that like I know I'm insane. Like when people disparage me, I'm like, I'm gonna find out everything. I'm like, I know where your mom lives now.
Yeah.
Like I had somebody talk shit to me on Instagram, and it was like I told him his real name, and he's like, it's not my name, and I was like, so this isn't your mom.
Oh damn.
I showed him. I was like, that's not your mother, Bosque Farms, right?
You have to be careful here with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, and you know what? That's why I'm like, because people think like Gabe Gambino is a stage name. I was like, it's not. It's
No.
my real name. You know why? Because I'm like, I don't do wrong by people.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
not scared
Right.
of anybody. You
You
know.
don't have to be
There was a
worried.
while here where I was the only person on the show using my real name.
Oh yeah.
I think still.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I guess so.
That's right.
But
Weird.
it's
All
one
right.
of those things where you're like, yeah.
Not that I'm afraid of anybody, but
But I'm like, I use my real name, and knowing that I like whatever I do in life, I'm gonna use my real name.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm like, yeah, my family lives here and all this stuff. And
So,
I'm like,
all right, well, let's get into some of that stuff. Like, let's get into the music stuff. So, when did you decide, like, I'm going to be a musician?
so this goes back to my time in the army. Actually.
Yeah? Like,
So actually-
like Johnny Cash style?
No, yeah, I actually went to Iraq, and like somebody had brought a guitar out there. Like I was stationed in Kentucky, and I started like, oh, I always thought of it like as a hobby, and I was like, this is kind of silly, And I was like very serious about like, I'm gonna do 20 and get out and all this stuff, and then
You're going to do 20 in the Army? Mm-hmm. Wow.
yeah, I did like 8.
What was your job in the Army?
So I was in a special forces unit actually, and
Jesus.
yeah,
Oh.
but I was a support guy. I did like IT and fucking radio work.
Nerd.
But I got right?
Nerd
No, exactly.
alert.
Well, it's like when you go to, I went to jump school and I was like in a fucking nerd job, and they were like, oh, well, basically you get like fucking plucked out and like putting it like special ops shit. Cause they're like, most of the people that had my job were like not, I was like not good at my job, but I was cool enough. Like
At IT?
right. Well, it was like, a lot of the people are like, they were kind of geeks and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I was like trying to look out for myself.
Yo, what's up, nerds, when you walked into work every day?
Yeah, but that's the thing too, is I got higher test scores than most people too.
Yeah.
So it's like I got kind of picked out, but like while we were out there like training to go to Iraq, and somebody brought an acoustic guitar, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And people are like, you need to start a band or some shit. And so
Yeah.
I moved. I like literally got home from Iraq, and I visited my parents here in Albuquerque. Because I used to spend my summers here when I was a teenager.
Oh. Where were you?
Yeah.
Where did you live before?
In Denver. And then I
Interesting.
also
and
I
then,
grew
and,
up.
then, and then you moved to Albuquerque?
Yeah, right. No, literally
I'm just
power
kidding.
up, dude.
Power up.
Fuck Denver. Fuck Denver, by the way, too.
Yeah.
Like that place sucks.
Thank you.
Right in its ass.
No, I moved there from California, so I grew up in San Francisco.
So you were just leveling up the whole time.
Well, it's like to me, like I loved growing up in San Francisco.
Bay Area.
Yeah. Well, no, in the city. Like
Oh.
I grew up in the city. Like it was awesome. It was very diverse and shit.
Big Warriors fan.
I love the Warriors,
Me
the
too.
Giants,
Yep.
Niners.
Oh, that's right. We're both Warriors fans.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember as a kid, like Latrell Sprewell choking that
Oh,
coach out.
PJ Carlissimo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the most famous. That was the thing that like Warriors were known for.
Power up.
They did power up. But it was weird because I came to visit my parents here in Albuquerque, and I like never left.
Well,
I can
you're all you.
I
you
just
could
hired
just
people.
shoot. You could just shoot a gun out the window of the car, and they're like, "Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
all
yeah.
right, all right,
I'm a new Iraq veteran.
yeah."
Yeah, let's do that for a while. No, yeah,
You can't do that here.
no, but I so
Yeah, you
when I
can't.
started playing music, I came out here and put out a Craigslist ad for like a drummer, and I don't know if you remember Greg King, King's Creation Tattoo on
No.
right by the launch pad,
Oh.
I
7th
remember
and
him.
Central.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I started the first band, so that was like the beginnings of Throw the Temple, like
Okay.
when it was Greg King and Aldo Gallegos, so it's like another tattoo artist there.
Right.
But we were like the original guys of that band. And eventually, like, after a while, it really is.
I'm hoping it's not. I hope a bunch of people move away that just moved here.
Right, yeah. You're like, I feel like grandfathered. I've been here 15 years.
That's grandfathered.
Right. That's
Yeah.
grandfathered in. Like, I moved here when it was shitty.
Right.
It's like when times were harder.
Hey,
Well, no, not when this place, when life was shitty.
Yeah.
never been
2008
shitty.
2008 was a fucking rough one. That's
Oh,
when
yeah.
that's when I moved here. Like, it was weird. Like, I was glad I moved to a new city and like didn't know anybody, and was like it was a challenge. I couldn't like rely on my friends because I didn't have any
Right.
like, at the time.
And Albuquerque is and I've had people dispute this, and I think they're wrong on this. Albuquerque is not the easiest place to make friends right away,
Oh, it isn't.
especially in the scene. You're not like people like look at you and they go, "Who is that person over there?" Like, and they're like, "I don't know." And then finally, you kind of have to like make like somebody has to be like cool with you, and then all of a sudden, then as soon as that happens, someone takes you to a party, and they're like, "Oh, he's cool with Billy." And they're like,
Right.
Then they're like, "Oh, okay, all right, cool."
Right.
But
Dude, I remember
he
meeting
ju-
Billy
he
for the
just-
first time.
He just described how I got onto the show.
Yeah.
Right.
Who the fuck is this guy? I don't know. Oh, he's cool with Billy. Hey, you want to be on our show?
Yeah. No, when I met Billy, he had a fake New Zealand accent, like for
No,
like
no,
a
no.
year.
Australian.
Australian, whatever it was. Like,
Australian.
I was trying to be more. I was trying to show us more culture.
That was
but
that was after the fake Boston accent.
no, yeah, I remember. But I remember every time I meet, I'm like, dude, fuck, I met this Australian guy. I think he's like one of those like fucking
Maoris or something.
yeah, right.
I tried to set Billy up with a male friend of mine.
Oh wow.
Well, he used to come to comedy all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a persona when he was at comedy, and I thought he was,
Gay.
Oh yeah.
gay, which is fine.
I've heard that many times.
And then
about Billy.
I got to know him, and he was hitting on every woman
Mm.
I ever introduced him to, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
And he's not even Australian or Boston.
Yeah.
No, and that was the thing is like I remember running into him. And
Bostonian.
he was like, oh, like, I was like, dude, you don't have the accent. Like, what's the? But I was like, Billy's just he's one of those.
He's just like to fuck around. Like
I see him all
Yeah.
the time at his job, like
Yeah.
because I work across the street from him.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
Yeah, so I'm like, I see him all the time. I'm like, hey, I'm going on the podcast on Sunday.
What do you say?
He was excited.
Oh, that's good.
He
He's
wasn't
like-
like, fuck those guys.
He dropped me off today.
Oh, not at all.
Oh, did he?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
He said he would drop you off any time.
I know, but I've only asked him once.
We had this conversation 2 days ago. Yesterday.
Yeah,
I
so
prefer to be late on my own, okay?
that's good.
I'm gonna stab him in the brain. I'm just kidding.
But yeah, I think when I got into music here, it's like I started meeting people and stuff like that, and I think I really do.
Well, who? Before we go there, like, so who were you like? What bands were you like? This is what I want to be like. Who were you?
I always tell people this, like the Queens of the Stone Age was my
Okay.
like. So when I was in high school,
You
and I was
tell
like,
people that, but what's the truth?
Well,
In sync.
Bush,
Oh,
16 Stone by Bush.
he's on 98 degrees. It's
Yeah,
fine.
right. I'm like, dude, the guitar
LFO.
work. Like,
He's like, Nick and Jessica are getting
what is
divorced.
funny is I met one of the I met one of the Backstreet Boys. Like
Who?
in I saw Queens of Stone Age
Uh-huh.
at night. I met Brian Luttrell. Brian,
Lame.
what? Wait, Brian.
I've hung out with 2 different members of NSYNC.
Dude,
Like-
I bet
like-
they're cool as shit.
Like flat out
I have
hung out with
never
them.
been more jealous of Christopher in my life.
I got to
Yeah,
hang
look
out.
at him bragging over
I got to
here.
hang out. Well, no,
was
I
it
don't,
Lance and Joey?
no, it was
JC?
It was Joey Fatone, and then the next year This was Comic-Con. So, like, Joey Fatone threw a party at the library.
He seems like a cool dude.
Super cool. He made me take a photo with him.
I just saw a movie with Joey Fatone in it last night.
He's on Practical Jokers.
He does this thing where he knows that, like, men are like I don't want to take a picture with you. And so he's like, come on, get up here. And he made me take a picture with him. He was really cool. So then the next year, they brought in Chris Kirkpatrick.
Oh, I forgot about him.
He was the NSYNC guy with the weird hair.
Yeah, he was the white guy with dreads.
So then they
Counting Crows.
They
guy.
threw a party at Rio Bravo for the Comic-Con. So I'm with my friend Ming or our friend Ming, all of our friend Ming.
Yeah.
And then kind of like our entourage that kind of does the Comic-Con. And we're at Rio Bravo, and Chris Kirkpatrick walks in, and he's kind of like, like he doesn't know what to do. He's like by himself, and he just kind of like sees us, and he just comes over and sits at our table.
That's fucking dope, dude.
And it was just interesting. And then so I took pictures with both of them, and then each year I would send it to my sister, and my sister would be like, "What in the fuck?" Like that was the time that I impressed my sister, as I was with the NSYNC people. So.
Oh yeah, I did that on Twitter actually. On when Manhigh was like still relatively new, so we ended up like that year we went out to Joshua Tree and recorded it at Rancho de la Luna.
Okay,
which was like
big.
where Iggy Pop recorded.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like Iggy Pop had just been there.
There's been a lot
like
of
there
people.
were footprints, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arctic Monkey. Like it was weird.
There was footprints with like blood all over the ground.
Yeah,
Iggy Pop was
cutting
there.
himself. Like
Yeah.
it was a weird like because people are like, "How the fuck did you do that?" And I was like, "Well, I saved a lot of money, and then I asked."
Yeah.
And he happened to like our music, like. But we all we had was like some demos, you know.
And you know what? It never hurts to ask anything.
Right. And when I was like, cool, like, well, let me try it. And he's like, well, it's going to be this. And I was like, cool. Do you take cash? Like,
I feel like we're missing some parts of the story. You're leaving some of it out.
yeah, you know, to protect myself.
Okay. So you don't get arrested.
Yeah, but we just call it cat.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's been, what, in 2 years, I'll tell the real story. Of my
Okay.
life.
Oh.
Waiting for the statute of limitations.
Yeah, it's wait for that 7 years to pass. But
I've done that before, yes.
Understandable.
right, yeah, we've all been there. And that's the thing is, like, you look up any bands, like, how'd you pay for this? And you're like,
yeah.
well,
It was not drug dealing.
I saved
if that's
up
what
some-
you're
I mean,
thinking.
have you seen the movie NWA? I'm about NWA straight out of Compton. I mean, come on.
right. But,
Yeah.
you know, that year we had seen Queens of the Stone Age. And we had been talking to Rancho, like Dave
Yeah.
Catching from Eagles Death Metal. So it was like when we were doing Night of Living cover bands as them,
Yeah.
I like texted him and I was like, I'm going to need some guitar advice, you know?
Someone,
And he still texts me back.
that's so cool.
He tells me Merry Christmas and shit. And I'm like,
Aw.
Dave Catching is the sweetest man. And he was in, the first 3 Queens of Stone Age albums.
Yeah. Yeah, because they kind of change the lineup every once in a while, right?
Right.
Kind of like Built to Spill.
Yeah, it's kind of one guy. And
Yeah. Josh Homme.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's centered around him and like...
And he's
But I
like,
was like,
I'm going to
holy
change the
shit.
sound up, you know?
But if you look at the disc, it's like Dave Cat, like that guy recorded our shit, you know,
Yeah.
like
That's so cool.
Fucking cool.
that was kind of me getting into music was like everything when I was in high school was like 20 years ago at this point, like was like tough guy shit, you know, it was like Trapped. I was like, I remember Throw the Temple opened for Trapped, and I'm so happy I got to mock him to his face before it was cool to mock him.
Yeah.
Because it's like 2015 before he went all ape shit.
This is amazing. Rap music wouldn't exist without the 1977 New York blackout, and that is an absolutely true story. Do you know that story?
I would love to know more.
Okay, so in Brooklyn in 1977, like everybody was, everything on the radio was like, Simon and Garfunkel, all that shit, and black culture, they were like, we don't have anything on the radio, so people would go to these parties that like Africa Bambaataa would throw, Cool Herc, and they would have all these records, like, different black artists, and they would like play them, and then they started doing the 2 turntables, and they would like mix them, they would lay down the break, and that's where breakdancing came from. Because if you were like somebody in Rap Revolution on Netflix, if you were dancing to that music, you were a break dancer. And so then, like, it was very expensive to buy turntables, especially like the one big 2 turntables. Now, people knew that there was like, I don't know how they knew, but there was like a warehouse that was full of them. So in 1977, there was rolling blackouts happening in New York. So when one of the big ones happened, They broke into that warehouse and cleaned it out.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everybody in the neighborhood had 2 turntables.
And a microphone.
And it launched a rap revolution. It's
that's what's great about, like, we live in an amazing time.
That dude knows what he's talking about. The very exciting guy. He told in the Rap Revolution on Netflix.
I'm going to definitely... You have to watch that if you're watching this.
It's great. It is fantastic.
I loved hip-hop growing up. Like, I grew up in the Bay Area. It was, like, Too Short and all that stuff. Like,
oh, yeah, Too Short. So they in that Rap Revolution, they go into each different area later on, and they do the Bay Area, and it's Too Short, MC Hammer, Digital Underground.
Dude, Mac Dre.
Of course,
Mac
Dre. Tupac.
Loonies. Yeah.
So this whole time you're watching it, there's this guy. He's like one of the talking heads, and he has a big afro, and he's got like the gray streak in it. And I'm like, who the hell is this? And he's talking about Tupac, and he's talking about Too Short and all them, and then and it's Shock G, and I'm like,
oh yeah, the one that put the satin in your panties.
And as soon as like I realize it, it's fucking Humpty Hump from the Digital Underground, but he doesn't have all the stuff on. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh my god, he looks nothing like that. Like,
I knew a lot about him. He was like, musically he was a genius. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
he could play all kinds of instruments. Same with Flavor Flav.
And Tupac was one of the backup dancers for Digital Underground.
I got to hang out with. I used to work for a band called James Douglas Show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I remember them.
Yeah, they're really, really good friends of mine. And their really good friend is Money B from Digital Underground.
Mm. Oh, wow.
He became a friend of mine. And to hear his story of, like, the first time he heard, I believe it was Humpty Dance on the radio. First of all, that was not the song they wanted to be a single.
Yeah.
Right. It never is.
They thought it was a fun song. And he was a janitor at a high school.
Oh, wow.
And he had his, like, Walkman on. And he said that I was like, what was your reaction to hearing your song on the radio for the first time? He was like, I literally said, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why that one?
Well,
like, of all of the songs.
That's the same story for the Beastie Boys.
Mm-hmm.
They were out on tour.
Oh, Fight for Your Right.
Yeah, and Rick Rubin.
Their joke song?
Yeah.
It was like they're sarcastic.
Yeah. They were making fun of, like, frat boys. And Rick Rubin brought in a guitar player and added the guitar riffs to it, sent it out, and they were on tour, and they heard it, and they were like, they didn't even know that the guitar, all that stuff was added to it. And they said literally after, like, almost overnight, the audience went from black to white.
Yeah.
Oh, that dude. There you go, Craig Buchanan, documentary for the Beastie Boys.
What's up, Craig?
If you've never seen the documentary for the Beastie Boys
so
on
good.
Apple Plus, it is beautiful.
So
It is.
I have the fortune. I live at my parents' house at the moment.
Yeah.
My wife and I are trying to buy a house, so we're
Good
living
luck
at
with
mom
that.
and dad's. They have the streaming services right
man.
now. So I'm like, oh shit, like. I feel like I'm at a hotel, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
When
you're like,
you're
oh
like-
shit,
you're
this
like
is what
this-
Disney Plus is like.
You're
huh?
like this HBO is amazing.
Yeah, I'm like, I go to the school I teach at, and I'm like, oh, any of you pussies watching Ahsoka right now? Like, it's so
Yeah.
fucking. I'm watching it
it's
every
so
Tuesday.
good.
See,
Yeah.
that was me in elementary school. I was like, I need pieces of shit seeing the Terminator last night.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater, dude. Yeah, my kids don't understand. I'm like, weed was super illegal. You know,
Right.
like everything. I'm like, all this shit, you guys.
Yeah. Well, we talk about this on this podcast all the time. Kids will never know getting a piece of shit brick of dirt weed and breaking it up on an album cover to get the seeds out. They'll never know what that is.
Right. I did that
Yeah.
like 5 years ago.
And
As
then
a
not
gift.
getting high.
And then not
Right.
getting high. Right.
Well, dude, I was
I
never.
think I feel it.
I was never like a super weed guy, which is funny because like the style of music we play is very stonery, right? But it's
A little stoner rock, yeah.
yeah, we have like the elements of stoner rock, but we're like
I mean, Manhigh.
Manhigh.
Hey, that Manhigh.
Well, it's funny. It was like the Manhigh was named after it was like an Air Force project in the
Okay.
50s. It was before NASA. They were like, what happens if you put a guy in a balloon?
Yo, I feel like the butter on flapjack. Mm.
Yeah.
They have
Like a big old-
like on a radio, he's all, can't breathe now.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
that's very
like, this
cold.
fucking sucks. Like, it's kind of cold. Like, But there was a documentary on PBS. That's why the
Kids will never understand waiting until Thursday for The Simpsons. That's amazing.
why I like that they're bringing that back because like streaming services
Yeah.
are like new episodes every Wednesday.
Right.
Well, so Danny, who was here on Friday,
Oh, yeah.
she's 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she was like, oh my
That
gosh, you
Danny.
guys have
Okay.
to wait until Tuesday for your show?
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, yeah. She's like, well, why are they doing that?
Now, why don't you just put
And-
all of it out now?
And
Right.
we were like, well, we used to have to wait for our shows all the time. And she's like, what do you mean?
And we had to wait through the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, also, like, it only came on at a specific time.
Well,
and
they
then it
always-
was done. And she's like, how did you survive?
Barely.
Barely. We didn't survive, Danny.
How old? She's 8, right?
7.
7. So she's over here on Friday night, right? She's watching Amanda, big Amanda fan. She comes over after the podcast, right? And they're Amanda and Holly Ann are talking, and they kind of stop. And she goes, Uncle Chris, she goes, can I be on the podcast and tell you stories from my life?
And I saw Chris's heart melt into a puddle.
And
Isn't it beautiful though?
And I sit there and I go, yeah, your tumultuous 7 years. Please lay down the wisdom that
I
you
you
love
know
when
what-
7-year-olds say like
Yeah.
back in
Back
they're like
in the
back when I
days."
was a kid. You're like,
Oh, yeah.
bless you.
So we're in the car. The better part of this story. We're in the car. She's like, I talked to Uncle Chris. And I was like, yeah, I heard. And she's like, maybe if I do a good enough job when I come to tell my stories, I'll take your job.
Oh.
And I was
wow.
like, my own
ambitious.
child.
It's ambition right there. Like
That's
Everyone's always trying to take your spot, right?
I
is-
know.
I'm like, hey, why don't you make a spot
Fantastic.
for you?
Why don't you start your own podcast?
Right?
Well,
Like
that
Gabe
was
did.
always
Call it 10
Yeah,
Capri
right.
Suns minimum.
10 Sunny D's, man.
Yeah,
Like,
10 Sunny D's.
10 juice box.
You know what's weird is like that's what I knew I was like when I was a teenager. It was like when I tried a Sunny D, I was like, this is fucking syrup. You know, and you're like, you
I
realize
it.
like I hate this.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
is this viscous?
I'm the opposite. You know what I saw today? I go to the liquor store to get the Montuckies and to pick up those tickets. And Cardi B has vodka-infused whipped cream now.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw your story about
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
And it says on it, do not refrigerate.
Really?
And I'm like, that does not sound right.
well, because
Yeah,
it's not
right.
cream.
You don't refrigerate whipped cream?
Not vodka infused whipped cream.
Ah.
It's not.
It's preserved.
Cream.
It's got preservative. Like
It's
not
like
good.
That is some hydrogenized vegetable oil
Yeah.
with food coloring.
Oh, so there's no dairy in it,
and
yeah.
No.
Vodka.
yeah, I got a feeling like you end up twerking and like you have some you're like, I topped your drink with a
Alcohol
little
whipped
something.
cream is not new on the market. I remember when it came out.
Craig Buchanan, who they released their album last night, went to the show.
How was it?
Great. Yeah, great. Even if I was still a drinker, that's a hard pass for me. Yeah.
That's a yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
well, Wonderwall is a hard pass for you too, Craig.
That's not.
Oh wait, hold on. Okay, so now I'm going to be playing with him,
Oh.
and
Whoops.
we had like
I
a
had
discussion about this.
So
right?
it's you, Josue, and Craig.
me, Josue, and then Low Mellow
Yeah.
is I think playing bass.
Oh, nice.
You mean Abel?
Abel John Gonzalez or whatever his name is.
Oh, no.
So you
Did
don't
I
wanna-
just
you-
make everybody
Oh
mad?
yeah. Oh, I had this whole situation last night at the bar.
No,
Oh,
so
no.
I don't. I'm like notoriously bad about reading group chats.
Yeah.
Like, unless I start, if I start
And-
them and
and-
I get
and
offended,
Nate-
I'm like,
Nate
you
from the
pieces of
houses.
shit need to answer me, you know. Mm-hmm. But if I'm just in the group chat, then
Yeah.
Nate from the houses too.
Yeah.
Oh, see, yeah,
Have you guys even practiced? Are you guys gonna do good? Is this gonna be bad?
yeah, of course.
All right. Just kidding.
Sorry, Craig.
Poor Craig.
No,
I was just
yeah.
trying to be funny. I'm sorry.
No, literally every text message is like it's a once a week. Like,
Yeah.
so are we gonna
Oh,
right.
I had this conversation last night.
right? And yeah, it's one of those. I was gonna
people,
do.
for people new listening. Night of Living Cover Bands is happening, and it's all these bands that cover like famous bands. And Craig and Gabe and Josue and Nate from the Houses and I guess Abel, they're doing a Oasis cover band, and some of y'all don't want to do Wonderwall.
It's a big. So I literally, I want to put this out here now. Now that I'm on
the
here.
Wonderwall
now that the world's
conspiracy.
watching.
Yeah.
Now that the world's watching, I just don't care. I'll play. Like, send me the set.
Yeah. Okay.
But also, I mean, I do agree. I think
this is now becoming a thing.
Yeah, it's become like, so when they did the announcement like a couple weeks ago, last week, maybe
Friday before last.
Okay, that I was like, yeah, cool. Like, and I told him that. I was like, hey, whatever, dude. I don't care.
You're
I'll
all. If you want me to play Wonderwall, I'll play it. If you don't want me to play it, I won't. Very George Harrison.
It's getting very, very.
That was George Harrison.
Getting very real Oasis too. It's like,
fuck.
there's already
All of a sudden,
not really,
Josue's going to be up in the balcony, and he's going to say he has a sore throat, so Craig has to sing all the songs at the.
Josue literally was like, just fuck them. Like, I don't want to do it. And okay, I think you should only do Wonderwall. Somebody said that.
Do it like 5 different ways.
That's great.
That would be hilarious.
Hey, hello Albuquerque, we're the Wonderwalls.
We were like talking about that. Well, what is they have the album Definitely Maybe?
Yeah.
We're gonna call ourselves Definitely Maybe Wonderwall.
Okay.
Oh,
but like,
you guys don't have to play Wonderwall.
No, we're just being silly.
Yeah. It was
At this point, it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, except for maybe for Craig. I'm sorry, Craig.
There's the thing of like people's expectations about what we're gonna do, and then there's the.
I think you should start playing it and then stop, and then go. Sorry, we're gonna skip that one.
Ooh, see, I think that like, I was watching. So like, you ever been at like hip hop shows? Like,
yeah,
I was watching Kendrick Lamar's like Amazon thing.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You know, I'm at my parents' house, so it's like, you know, I'm like, damn, dude, this is
whole
Kendrick
thing's a
Lamar.
movie
you
theater.
can only watch so much porn.
Yeah, right.
You can get porn anywhere. You can't get AB.
Right, I can't watch Kendrick Lamar on like at work.
Damn right.
Apple, Disney, man. That's.
Don't you own the barbershop?
I know,
think you
right?
can.
Well, we don't like my boss is notoriously.
Oh, you don't own the barbershop.
No, I don't.
Oh,
no.
oh, okay.
Oh no, I just only do all the paperwork like to
make
them legally an entity.
Okay.
Yeah. But also, I mean, like, yeah. It's because I was like because I'm in instructor school. I was like,
oh wow.
I was like,
hold on.
Uh-oh.
His radar's going off.
Oh.
He knows we're talking Wonderwall.
Oh no.
Pearl Jam did that smell.
Let me tell you about Pearl Jam. I fucking hate them. Like,
Oh.
I think
I love them.
I was always like, well, when people are like they're the best band from that era, I was like, no fucking, not
did
possible.
you not hear the Pixies?
Have
the
you not heard
Pixies,
Bush?
Soundgarden, yeah, Bush,
Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains, dude. Literally everybody's better than Pearl Jam to me. I was just like,
I love Pearl
but
Jam.
I like Temple of the Dog. I love it. That's basically Pearl Jam with Chris Cornell.
I know. Are you going hungry?
But see, I was like, that's the one song of theirs I don't like.
I don't mind
Eddie
stealing
Vedder's
bread.
out there fucking putting his dick in it. Like,
oh man, I saw Pearl Jam in Miami. They did a 3-hour show.
I'm sure if I saw them live, but that's why I refuse. Like
you don't want to be
I have to hate
converted.
something.
Well, this is gonna be awkward. Eddie Vedder's in the door here. He's about to.
Yeah, right.
Sorry,
dude.
Gabe.
If he came out, I would like if he confronted me, I would like, I would sit here and be like, bro.
And he's like, hey, Gabe.
He's like, right.
Little upset about what you said about us.
Dude, if he said that, I would probably change my mind because I'm a coward.
Killing Gabe.
But I was like, yeah. I remember when people put on Pearl Jam and shit, and I'm just like, I fucking hate this. Like,
yeah,
just stop. It's mumble rock.
Okay.
Like,
Well, I'm angry now.
What?
But with that, we're gonna take a break now. I'm just
Yes,
kidding.
you ruined it.
No, we're actually at a break. I didn't want to stop you. Keep that moment going.
No.
We're going to come back and talk a little more with Gabe. We're going to take a little bit of a break here because it's been an hour. I have to pee. I think we all probably.
Yeah, I definitely have to pee a little bit.
Oh, he's
No,
like, I
I'm
have
just
to
kidding,
pee
a
a little
lot.
bit. But we're gonna come back here. We're gonna talk with Gabe some more in the wavy hour. Do you have anything to promote?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, about a month ago, one of my best friends and my bandmate from Throw the Temple passed away, and his name was Kent Sidlow, and he was our drummer. And we are currently doing a GoFundMe for him for we're making vinyls of like all our records, and so he and I've had a couple bands together and stuff like that, and that's definitely something I really want to get out there. And he was one of my best friends, and is one of my best friends. Like,
That's terrible, man.
it's really like it's really a big deal to like get these like, we're trying to make vinyls of like some of the records that we made together and stuff like that, and some of the records he made with other people as well. And it's yeah, that's a big one. So like, we were in Loner Party and Throw the Temple together, and we're definitely doing that. And then September 14th as well, we're doing Duke City Championship Wrestling. We're if you come during the doors, we're playing at 6 p.m. and 6 to 7, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's 2 hours of like incredibly entertaining wrestling.
There's going to be so mine will flow into that too. Come out to that wrestling.
Yeah.
There's going to be something special that happens.
Oh yeah.
I can't say what. No, I'm just being cryptic, but you should come out.
I
Thursday
just
night.
found out. And
You just found out.
well, it's funny too, because I was like, the picture of you and I over at the
Yeah, right.
at Founders.
Oh,
right?
Founders, yeah.
Yeah, after the show, like we went to Founders and stuff with a couple of the wrestlers, but I was like, well, I don't know who people know are friends and aren't, like according to the story, right? Because I haven't exactly like, I didn't know, so I had to blur out a lot, like everybody else, so that it was like I want to maintain the artistry of the show.
Yeah.
And Duke City Championship Wrestling is on September 14th. It's a Thursday.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad you're coming back to do another
oh
set.
yeah, dude, we're
Yeah.
we're like a little appetizer, but it's like we're like buffalo wing appetizer, right?
Oh.
We could be a meal. We could be a meal, but also,
Yeah.
we're setting the stage for you.
Holly Ann, what you got going on?
Oh, I have a ton. Albuquerque Funny Fiesta is going on from the 21st to the 24th, and I will be on 3 of those shows. You can head to abqfunnyfiesta.com to get tickets and more information. I will be there Friday for I'm hosting the Super Sack show. Saturday, I'll be there at 1 o'clock at Inside Out for Riffapalooza, and Saturday night, I will be on the Super Sack show at Dry Heat. October 5th, I will be at Hollow Spirits at 7 p.m. Follow me on Instagram for tickets on that one. And on October 27th, I have my Night the Living cover comics at Dry Heat. And that show benefits suicide awareness and prevention. So please come out.
Nice.
And I think I got it all.
Smiley's still on strike.
That is correct.
Thursday, come out to Duke City Championship Wrestling for me. September 30th, I will be hosting October Fiesta at Santa Fe Brewing in Santa Fe, the main tap room. Always a blast. One of my favorite things to do of the year. Holly Ann got to do it last year.
I did.
Because I had to go to a wedding. Boo. Just kidding. Trying to think of everything. Oh, wait. I have something. Tickets to New Mexico Brew Fest.
Oh,
Boom,
dang.
boom, boom. 10 tickets to New Mexico Brew Fest that we're going to give away over the next, I don't know, month or so. Right? What is the date today? The 10th? We're going to give these away to people on social media. And we'll have details about that coming up probably this week, right? What do you think?
Yeah.
So we have 10 tickets to give away. And so that's happening. We're going to be podcasting from there. Not only did I asked them, I said, hey, is the internet going to be good enough? They said to me, if it is not, we will rent something so that it is good enough.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Are they going to hardline us?
If they said if it's not
Yo.
good enough
Like,
there,
we got Cat 6, bitch.
well, if
We got that Cat 6 cable.
They can also you can also rent a hotspot from like Verizon or whoever, and if they have to do that, they said they would. And I said,
Wow.
Shh, man,
We have a T-Mobile thing at the barbershop, and it's
Yeah.
but if you get like more than three things on it, it's
Yeah.
but I told him, I said I need 5 megs up minimum.
okay.
Minimum 10 would be better. So we have that coming up. Bunny Fiesta's coming up. Other than that, I can't think of what else I have. Am I missing something? I don't know. Whatever.
I don't think so.
If so, we'll remember it in the next hour. So yeah, we're gonna take a break. Stick around with us. We're gonna bullshit with Gabe some more. You're gonna stick around.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Sweet. That's why I came here.
I know. Some people are like, "Can I leave after the first hour?" That happens.
What?
It
Really?
does.
And then
Who doesn't like doing this? Like,
It's never a good idea to do that though, because you're leaving us an hour to go. Wow, I can't believe this.
yeah. So
And boy,
what
howdy
a piece
do
of
we
shit.
sometimes.
What a bore.
Well,
You know?
can you believe they had that on their face the whole time? And you're all, that's their face. They're like, oh.
Yeah, I'm like, it's just my forehead. It's rather
So
large.
you always got to stick around to make sure we don't, yeah.
They're like, do you see the fucking forehead on that guy?
As a goddamn 5 head.
How's that guy? I get that a lot because I'm like, they're like, how are you a barber? Because like my hair, it's
You
never
have
like
good hair. I
what,
like
but
hair.
I don't have like the crispy fucking fresh hair.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's the kind of barber.
We
I am.
can't always be smiley. Yeah.
Well,
He does have some sharp ass sideburns.
What's wrong with you?
I just sneezed a bunch. I had like a.
Oh
big-
yeah.
All right.
He was very quiet about it, by
He
the
was,
way, which is
okay.
like very,
Yeah.
very professional.
Anyway, we're going to take a break. Stick around. Be back with us. We are 10 drink,
drink
minimum.
Minimum.
Lie down and sleep in your cozy little bed. Don't peel the sheets. It's muddy cold. Don't be afraid. On the ceiling, shadows speak, but they ain't breathing. They're deceiving you again. And I know the floor creaks even when there's no one around. Oh, oh, and to control, take a feeling, keep you down. Would you wait another day to hit the ground? I ever explore again, it will be the season of angry trial. Pull the curtain, shine a spotlight on the forehead. You absorb the sweat. Tire the voices to the stigma you created, unabated in your head. And I know the floor creaks even when there's I'm speaking all wishes, oh, in the days they could be better. Don't assume that I'm just way high. The world's a bar and I want it. Save a portion for us. What could be better? How do you do that? Take a place on. I'm back to my dream of starting. My days next to your skin. Chase it all, chase it all. Was it you? Your face is red as yours. I've got time to park at me and walk with you to the corner of Richmond. Your apartment's nice and then what we I came away strong. There was no use to crawl into your dust now. I'm speaking of wishes, boy, things they could be better. Don't assume right, but I'm just way high. The world's a bar and I want it. To save a portion for us, what could be better? How do you do that? Take a place on. I'm back to my dream of starting. My days next to your skin. I'll chase it all, chase it all. Do you hear that sound? It's the sound of you taking me back. Your eyes say no, that look is mine. For that's alright. Come on, just a slice of what we have. It's just the same. Let's all riddle me a kind of ghosts floating in a maze of my demise. But back set for a certain kind of time machine to take me to the dawn of when we met. Is the sound of you taking me back. Your eyes say no, that look is mine. The back said, for that's alright. Oh yes, come on, just a slice of what we have.
I sold my soul to the bottle, Still none of my friends have left me yet. I'm the same man I was since the age of 13, and I've lived my life with no regrets. If you're looking for some freedom, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum. If you're looking for rhyme or reason, all it takes is 10 drinks minimum.
All right, we're back.
Hello.
Billy slash Wavy Hour. Let me spill a beer real quick.
Oh, no.
That happens. It's been a while. We haven't done that in a while.
Oh, this is fun.
What?
I have this scheduled for tomorrow.
Freak out deal with your staff?
Shit.
What?
This is actually on my schedule.
Okay.
Deal with your shit. Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So I want to.
No, that's yeah.
Tomorrow all day.
I'm trying to buy a house. Like I tell people this all the time. Like 3 years ago, I lived in I lived with Kent Sidlow, like in his grandma's room at his parents' house. Like
with his grandma?
No, she wasn't there. But it was like a very grandma room, and I paid like $400 a month.
Like grandma's no longer with us?
No, she's still here.
Oh.
But
She just stared in the window while you were dressing?
Yeah,
Like-
she's
like-
out here in Albuquerque now. Because I lived out in the mountains, and I was like, man.
What you'd say in the South is a stepmother's room.
Yeah.
Right. And this was a deal of like, cool, I'm like totally content with what I have, right?
Yeah.
I had a van that I hit a shopping cart one day. It was like out in the middle of Bridge.
Uh-huh.
This is when the drummer of Manhigh, Ray, lived out in like 5 Points, right? So I was driving home one day, and it was I definitely I launched a shopping cart with my van, and luckily it wasn't broken enough to
Yeah.
like that I had to duct tape the headlight back.
Pull that
up.
microphone up, man.
Oh, yeah,
you
my
don't-
bad.
You don't need to, no, I don't want you to hunch over. I don't want your back to hurt after the
All
show.
right, yeah, I do
You're
have
all-
back problems.
Someone's gonna say, "How's 10 drink minimum?" You're all, "Well, my back hurts," and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, he was."
Yeah, that show sucks, dude. 'Cause my back.
He was carrying the show. I want to point something out real quick. So this is somebody from my past life. A guy named Josh McCarty. He lives in Portales, runs a really good restaurant there called McCarty's, and he posted. Do you hear like a background something?
There's some humming.
No, there
I
was
think it's a fridge.
There was like talking. The humming's fine. It's the fridge, the air conditioner, all that. But I heard
No,
like
I heard that too.
You know what? It's because the show's streaming on my phone. It's stupid as fuck. Sorry.
But my friend Josh said, my mom saw your Topo Chico sponsor, lost her mind. She wants you to know how proud she is of you and how good you're doing, and I think you're her favorite now. And absolutely, I appreciate that.
Topo Chico, dude.
It's all Smiley.
Thank you.
Smiley got us that.
Really?
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
all of our sponsor deals.
Yeah.
Can you get me something like fucking Waterloo or something?
Waterloo.
Yeah.
Nice.
We're a softer brand now.
We're softer. Manhigh. Drink Waterloo.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, Josh. And tell your mom I said hello and tell her thank you.
That's
makes me
fucking
feel-
awesome, man.
That makes me feel good.
So I'm currently for Night of Living cover bands. I'm growing the beard out so I can have the big mustache for Eagles of Death Metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Which
doing-
is like I'm trying to crypto grow like the big gay walrus mustache, like
yeah.
so I can. Because I'm like, yeah, I want to have this shit like out.
Cuckoo choo.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Just for, after the show, I'm going to go see a show.
Where are you going? You're not going to go to the
Joyce Manor
the
or
birthday
something?
party?
Joyce Manor.
My kids are gonna be. If you see my kids there,
You're not going to go to the birthday party.
I'm going to go there for an hour. Joyce
All
Manor
right.
doesn't start till 8.
All right.
But my niece bought me tickets. Bought me a ticket. This is an all-age show. You can come with us. And I was like, I'll get you a ticket. So and I have no idea who this band is.
no. So I heard them sound checking. Actually, I went to El Rey earlier, and I was like, I saw a couple of people, like Vanson and you know, and
Friends.
Jesus,
Friends.
right?
And so, yeah.
Some friends. And I was like, I saw them out there, and I was on my way here, and I was like, hey, you know, yeah, I'm going over to be on 10 drink minimum, and you know, I saw the guy who's running sound too,
Yeah.
so I was like,
How did they feel about that?
They felt good.
Nice. I know Vanson's a very big supporter.
Dude,
Vanson's
Vanson.
awesome.
We did a
Is it
run.
gonna be a good show? Like,
Oh my God.
Is it gonna be good?
Well, they sounded good. I heard their sound check, and it sounded pretty awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, I've opened for a lot of like OTEP. Right.
OTEP.
What a fucking dick.
Somebody,
by the way.
Bobby Tucker said, "Hey, that guy cuts my hair."
Hey, what's up, Bobby? Yeah. Wow, we knew each other as musicians like way before.
Yeah, Shoulder Voices. They're doing. They're
coming back,
They're
dude.
doing the Flaming Lips for no
Dude.
cover bands.
The
Hell
comeback.
yeah.
So actually, I did cut his
So
hair.
I don't know if I announced this yet. Did you know I'm doing Night Living cover bands?
What?
It is official, 100% official.
Okay.
I will be on stage for Night Living cover bands.
Oh, I have to have that night.
So
What night is this?
I don't remember the date. I have to look it up.
Okay.
I will be in full costume, and I will be playing the part of Paul F. Tompkins from the episodes of Tenacious
Oh,
D,
yes.
where he says, for example, he's like, "Thank you guys for coming out for the open mic. This next band would like me to read this to you. Prepare to have your asses blown out." Coming to the stage, Tenacious D. So I'm doing that.
That is fucking amazing.
Okay, you said this on Friday.
Yeah.
And I have
It's
to
official.
say,
It's official.
I am a little upset. Because ever since I started Night of the Living Cover Comics, I have been asking you.
Yeah.
Wait, you started this.
Yeah.
She did.
Who are you doing this year?
I am hosting as Minnie Pearl.
Oh my God. I love that.
I have a costume.
And I know where you're
everything.
going. You've asked me to do it, and
And you haven't.
well, that's different. That's like so. And I know the one you want me to do. She wants me to do Norm Macdonald.
He's so
Oh,
good.
I love.
And
so
so-
Norm.
He's so
Well,
good.
and let me hold on. So like I heard. So I listened to the Dana Carvey and David Spade one, and they had Dennis Miller on, and they were talking about Norm Macdonald, and they're like Norm would get up on stage and he'd be like, Jeffrey Dahmer killed a guy, ate his bowels, ate his intestines, ate his
I know where you're going
heart,
with this.
ate his eyeballs. When asked for a quote, he said, "Hey, he started it." And I was like,
I love the one. So there's on his podcast when he's talking about Albert Fish.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody.
Yeah.
Look up Albert Fish. He was a piece of shit.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
The werewolf of Wisteria, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, he said, he's like telling him the whole
Hey.
story about like how he ate children.
Yeah.
And he's like, only African American and disabled children, right? And after a while, he's like, you know what? This guy's a real jerk.
This guy's
And that was like the
real jerk.
punchline.
Yeah.
Was
Oh
like-
yeah.
He tell him all this like piece
No-
of shit, like absolute terrible things
If
he
you-
did. He's
if
like,
you
I think
really-
this guy's a real jerk.
If you really want to watch the genius of Norm Macdonald, and I can't remember, I think it's Bob Saget, the roast of Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Norm
I got
Macdonald-
Paramount Plus for
Oh.
that roast.
Oh,
Like,
It's so
oh,
good.
it's so genius. And at the time, people are like, he went up there and he's like, I'm doing this for the people on the dais. And he's like, yeah, he's all, Bob's face looks like a flower. Cauliflower, you know, and it's just so bad and amazing at the same
I
time.
love-
dude, I love that. It's like they say you're over the hill. You'll never be over the hill. Not in the car you drive.
Yeah.
Right? It's like just shit fucking
Yes.
retirement jokes. You know what I mean? Norm Macdonald, so like musically, I always wanted to carry this thing of like, I will never do shit that I don't want to do.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And this happened.
Oh, you're on the right show.
I auditioned. When I was in Throw the Temple, we had a show and a representative, like we'd applied to do an Isotopes game or something, right? And they came and I took my pants. I got like shit faced, took my pants off like during our set, and I was like, I don't care about anyone. Fuck all of you. Like, you
At
know?
an Isotopes game.
No, this is not at an Isotope. It was at the launch pad.
Oh.
I didn't know the rep came. It was like, I loved your show. I loved your show.
Not so much the pants part.
I loved your show, but I think, it's a little too much, right? For an ice. And I found myself begging. And I was like, well, I can tone it down, right? And
Yeah.
then I was like, wait, fuck it, right? Like, we hit it. We done, like, stuff to audition for, like, Summerfest, too.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? Maybe we're not a family band. Like, but I was like, I'm not going to be happy if I can't fucking be myself.
There you go.
Right.
You know, on a
Yo, I'm not
at
gonna
a
suck
show.
the corporate dick, bro.
That's why I always
But
came to see your shows, man.
You're like, I was hoping you'd open for Smash Mouth. R.I.P. Steve, by the way. Like, no, literally, like, my friend's band, he's one of my clients that cut his hair. They opened for Smash Mouth. Like, they got the gig.
Do you think everybody feels kind of shitty right now for kind of shitting on that band for a lot?
I don't.
No,
Okay.
you know, the thing is, like, I never felt one way or the other about a lot of these bands.
I had no
like,
problem with them.
Right. I never had a Smash Mouth problem or a Nickelback problem. Or
Here's the deal. I loved Smash Mouth when I was in middle school.
Right.
Okay.
And then
Walking on the Sun is a banger.
And then the years kept coming, and the years kept coming.
Well, but I guess the years kept coming, and then they did stop coming for him.
But, like, people
what's-
my kids' age, like, ruined everything. It was like, making everything ironic.
What's that song? What's the song they did in Mystery Men?
Walking on the Sun.
All Star.
No.
All Star, yeah.
Oh, okay. So that was also in the Shrek. But I think Shrek's popularity...
Well, and
exploding
then the other
again.
thing too is them covering like "I'm a Believer." It was kind of it's like grown.
But it's like, dude, you know, if the money's right,
Yeah.
like
I mean,
who... If you're like, you could secure your family and their family's future,
Look,
for the
here's
rest,
the
oh
deal.
well, they're okay, sure.
right?
Here's the deal. I was
Shrek
once
was that
told.
ogre movie, right?
Oh my god! Shut up. Yes. I was once told that a comedian who puts down Carrot Top,
Yeah,
whether you like him or not, is a hack because you have to respect the hustle.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, dude,
like,
Carrot
do
Top-
I like Carrot Top?
Carrot
What's
Top-
up, Matt? Dude, I tried messaging him like months ago, by the way, you cunt.
Oh.
And
Whoa.
he didn't answer me.
Whoa.
So what's... I'm just joking. I love you,
it's
bro.
What were you saying?
But so it's like the same thing I think with like Creed and
Yeah.
Nickelback and Smash Mouth. It's like, you know,
Well, people that try to have a personality
especially
by
the
shitting.
Shrek thing,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Well, there's that whole like, I hate everything that's like famous. Well, Carrot Top makes like $22 million a year.
He has a
working in Vegas.
warehouse for all of his stupid
I'm like,
props.
dude, I bet you if anybody that shits on him was at his show, would like,
Well, they got one,
right.
They got one of his paychecks.
Well, here's the thing. I'm never going to make Carrot Top money because I cannot tell jokes in front of children.
Yeah.
As
Right.
a matter of fact, I had a show at Brew Lab this past Thursday, and there was a child the same age as my child in the audience, and I said, fuck it. And I just did what I was going to do.
Well, why you got your
Yeah.
kid there, man?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it was like the show started at 7:30.
Kids don't need to be everywhere.
He should be in fucking bed.
No.
Dude.
Dogs-
Do your
dogs as well.
homework. But, you know, Carrot Top makes so much money because people could take their kids to a Carrot Top show in
Right.
Vegas.
I heard Carrot Top can't get off unless he has 2 women.
wow.
I really heard that.
He has a lot of.
There's a lot of, well, he's got to have all that blood flow for all the muscle and
Oh,
shit.
yeah,
like
yeah,
the,
Probably just for his hair.
probably just for all the weird shit he did to his face.
well, as a
Yeah.
barber instructor, like the keratin is the protein that helps your hair grow, and
Right.
he's probably got a lot of it.
I would hope so.
Carrot Top,
Right.
keratin. Oh.
Keratin, right?
He's probably got two
Uh,
girls like rubbing
Dude,
his head.
do the math, dude. Like maybe
Yeah.
Q is onto something.
I mean, Carrot Top never like if you get to the level where you have a standing gig in Vegas.
Oh, and not just a standing. I
No.
think he does like 5 shows a day or
Yeah.
something. It's
when I met the
nuts.
Backstreet Boy guy,
Yeah.
it was because they had a residency at the Caesar's Palace or whatever
Well,
the
good
fuck.
because they didn't make money as shit when they were like coming out because that guy
No,
stole
that's
it
the
all.
thing.
Yeah, Ron
But you know
Perlman.
what? I went up to that motherfucker and I was like it was he was with his kids too, like
Yeah.
Brian from the Backstreet Boys,
Yeah.
and I was like,
You beat him? Did you
right? I was
did you beat him
shit-faced.
up in front of his kids?
No, I
Oh,
just
dude.
I pointed,
Mm-hmm.
right, and he was like,
Here we go. Yeah.
right, and I was like, hey man, you know, like I respect what you did, you know, because I was like, it's not nearly, but I think every generation thinks what
Yeah.
was big when we were kids was the shit, but
Yeah.
it's kind of all, you know, it's
So-
whatever.
I don't know. Mine just keeps coming back. I'm like, oh man, I really love New Order. Are they fucking touring again? What the hell?
Well, what's that band you love? My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult.
Oh yeah, they've never stopped touring, man.
Well, I've tried to open for them, yeah. But we're not like necessarily like the fit.
They're all. They're all. You want to open for us? Do you do like Carrot Top
It
stuff?
depends.
or-
Nowadays, I'm like a little more chill about like what I try to.
It depends on their set.
But it's like Royal Blood. Like every time Royal Blood comes to town, because I'm like, bro, like they were kind of a model, right? We're a 2-piece band. They're a 2-piece band.
Okay. Power duo.
But I was like, right, the power duo, and ours was completely out of like necessity.
Who are the greatest power duos of all time?
White Stripes.
White
Wha-
Stripes
so-
up
Oh,
there.
they're
So
really good.
like literally, we did Local H.
Yeah.
Local last
H?
year.
Oh, Local
last
H is a big
year.
one. Yeah.
Last year we were Local H for
Oh,
Night of
fuck.
Living cover
I forgot
bands.
about them. And then who's
We were White Stripes the year before.
who's the White Stripes like enemy?
The Black Keys.
Black Keys.
Well,
Yeah,
so
oh,
Black
yeah.
Keys, but that like they were always
Like Jack
faking.
Jack White hates them.
So I'm like, I really pride myself on like with Manhigh. We don't like. There's no tracks or like we're
Yeah.
like what you hear is like what we're getting.
Yeah.
Like, it's what we're doing, right? Sometimes it sucks. Not really, but like
It happens.
But like sometimes we like go off into these things where we're like our
Those are the
our sets are not supposed to be the same every time.
Yeah.
We
They
can play
never
literally
are.
the same songs in a row, and they're still not the same set because we're like I find the transitions but like we're literally making that up in front of you.
I've
Right.
enjoyed your concerts like the most.
Thank you,
Like
man.
every time there's a Manhigh show, I'm like, oh yes, I want to go see that because it isn't.
There'll
ever
be
the
a
same.
year. There'll be a year where we don't fucking change the actual like order of songs, but like we'll.
Every show's different.
Every
But
show is
every
different.
show,
Oh, you know who-
every show
you-
we make up the transition.
You know who does that? That's really amazing. Pearl Jam.
God damn it! Don't fucking. I will not accept Eddie Vedder apologists right now.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, you know what? Like, I never got into the. Because people are like, wow, like my daughter's a Swiftie, dude. And I'm like, I'm bringing this
Oh,
up.
I'm
I know
a
you're
Swiftie,
on Facebook.
too.
I know you're on Facebook. I don't care. Taylor Swift. This whole act.
Oh, is that what that means? Okay.
But the whole act of like I'm getting out Spotify to look out for the small art. Like, no, you're not. You're looking out for you.
Right.
Right.
Her
Like,
label said, "Let's get off this."
well,
or
it's
her
probably her,
management.
and she's like,
I
she's
guarantee
she's
it's
got
not.
her shit.
I guarantee it's not. It's her management. They're like,
Yeah. You know what make you look relatable and cool?
yeah.
Like, but I'm like, I also like, I've always tried to maintain a pure and like true love for music, and that like,
I'm not shitting on Taylor Swift. I don't know.
I
What she does.
I don't know.
I'm
You know,
I've seen her live.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree with this. I think if you opened for Taylor Swift, that would make her look like relatable and cool.
Right, but that won't happen.
No.
It's
Might-
always these big actions of like,
Yeah.
It might.
It
You
might.
know
might.
what?
I'm
I
not
am
saying.
a huge Taylor Swift fan.
Oh, no, I'm joking.
I'm just. I mean, I think that she does a lot of things that are cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like she gave her truck drivers
She
$100,000
did.
bonuses.
She sure
Okay,
did.
so I'm. Yeah,
She
see, that's-
donates to food banks
Yeah.
every single place
Okay.
she goes.
That's
like a
probably
lot
my
of money.
ignorance.
She did that like when all the transportation people went on strike,
Yep.
UPS and all them. She gave her people.
She has cats that
Yeah.
she loves very much.
I agree. Taylor Swift, if you have a fucking hair on your balls, you'll ask Manhigh to open for you on tour.
I'm gonna
It
send
would
her
be
a
great.
message.
So,
But my daughter's also like calls her friends. It was midnight, right? I took
Yeah.
my daughter to the ER. She hurt her foot, right? So I'm like, God damn it. Like, right, it was like an entire afternoon.
Yeah.
And then first thing is like, did you hear what Taylor's announcement? Like watching the live streams and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is crazy to me.
oh, dude. Well, okay, hold on. So I watched. So there's a thing on Vice called Tales from the Dark Side. Tales
Yeah.
from the
Right.
Dark Side. Blah blah blah.
Right.
Or Dark Side of the whatever. It's not
Right.
Tales from. It's Dark Side or whatever. So they did the '90s. Cool. They were all awesome. 2 seasons of it. So they have Dark Side of the 2000s now.
Yeah.
Right.
So one of them.
Which is probably darker than.
So one of them is Dark Side of TRL.
Yeah. yeah.
That was a.
Did you watch it?
Well, no, I didn't, but I'd like lived it.
Dude,
I was 10 years old.
But
like,
but you don't
Yeah,
know the
that
dark
was-
side of it. So
That was every day.
so
It's
it was
every day.
What's
so
on the top 10?
It started out as like it was Carson Daly. They hired him from K-Rock, and they put him on middle of the day because like that was like a terrible time to be
Right.
on. And it was like we're gonna do like a request show, and it wasn't called Total Request Live. Anyway,
it was Total Request. There was Total Request. I remember that before
something
TRL.
like that. And so then at one point there was no audience, and then somebody they decided they were gonna have a guest, and all of a sudden there was like 20 people outside waiting for the guest, and
Then they made a thing of it.
and so all of a sudden they were like, oh shit, and people started showing up. Well, it became this industry, like I didn't realize this, it became this industry breaking thing because
To have that, like,
I remember
big
where I
window
was. I was
there,
I was
right?
in San Francisco, California, the day that Limp Bizkit's Nookie
Yeah.
beat out NSYNC.
right
in
but-
'98.
but see that the only reason
I remember this
But
vividly.
see, this is where the record industry, like, and I never thought about this. It was so rebellious because who chose the songs?
Right.
The kids did, or
Right,
Yeah.
they
people calling
called.
in.
They called like
and it fucked the music industry over, like the bigwigs, because they were like, shit. The people they wanted to push weren't making it.
well. So
Yeah.
if you think about it too, is like when Kurt Cobain died.
Oh yeah.
Well, so when Kurt Cobain died, they were scrambling for something to
Right.
fill that, right? So then you get like
Yeah.
you get these alternative bands. But back in the day, I always tell people, I'm like, if Manhigh was around in like the mid '90s, I'd be a millionaire because like back then they would just throw $2 million.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, you have that one song that we like.
You have that.
Yeah.
Whoop!
and,
Like, here you go.
Well, and so all these kids were like calling in, and they were like choosing the bands. So then the record industry tried to hire people to call and
Oh, of
fix
Right?
it.
course they
No,
did.
that's exactly
That
when
that
you
really
fucking
happened.
fuck everything up.
And the MTV people hired people to figure out who was real and who wasn't, and wipe out the fake ones.
Wow.
And it was a whole thing, and it was crazy. And it got, and then they would go through the whole thing where like Mariah came out and she like had the meltdown,
Yeah.
the nervous breakdown on air, and she brought out the ice cream, little ice cream wagon, and then like took her like shirt off and was wearing like and yeah. It was a
well,
whole
you
thing.
remember
Sure.
you remember Prince like fucking
Oh yeah.
when they were interviewing Prince about like
Yeah.
like on Jay Leno, like, hey, Mariah Carey got like a $30
Yeah.
million deal, and he's like, sounds like she's getting ripped off. Like she doesn't.
Yeah.
Sounds like she's gonna make somebody $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
Well,
true.
And it's true.
Yeah.
But like I never. My thing with music has always been like I don't care what their
Yeah.
pay is for shit because like I just love it. I do
That's-
it for me. You know, in
And
the
that's the
first
best
place.
way to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I love about comedy is that most of us, if not all of us,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody goes into comedy thinking, I'm going to be really rich.
Yeah.
Because none of them are, except for maybe 5 of them that got Netflix specials that
Right,
year.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
but even the ones who get Netflix specials,
They don't do that well.
Well,
I think fakeness will always like fucking show itself, right?
Yeah.
well,
'Cause I'm
I
like-
have to tell you guys, I
you have a
watched-
Netflix special?
No,
Oh.
I've
She's like, by the way,
no. I think you have to earn every single penny that
No,
you
you
make from
do.
those because
Yeah.
Live Nation books you a whole tour.
Really?
Amy Schumer, when she was pregnant, she was really, really sick. Actually, no, better example. Patton Oswalt, his wife
When
died.
he was pregnant. Oh.
Yeah. When Patton Oswalt's wife died, he
Yeah.
had to record a special because
Right.
Live Nation was like, you either do it or you pay us.
right?
Like, I think it was
No,
half
and
a million dollars.
I
or
remember
something.
that special was like
That's rough.
really.
It was good, though.
It was good, but it
It was rough.
sometimes it's not comedy. It's like it's spoken word, and
Yeah.
it's like you're like,
Henry
oh
Rollins?
shit, I didn't think
And
this
I,
was right.
I respect
It's
Patton
like that.
Oswalt for
Yeah.
being like, you know what, fuck it. You're not going to get the show you wanted, but you're going to get the show you deserve.
Right.
And it turned out genius. But I watched Amy Schumer's latest Netflix special. Well, I tried to because
Yeah.
I liked her last special
Mhm.
because she was more real, more vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
right? I watched 5 minutes of it and then had to turn it off because she was bombing.
That's also when you're fucking on the top of the world. That's why I'm like, I don't try to be.
I was like, come on, Netflix. You recorded a whole tour. You can't find a better show
Right.
to put out
of course
there.
they could. But
She
like,
was bombing.
no, but of
She
course
might
they
have
could.
bombed
But
her
they want everybody to be like, look how bad this is.
Yeah.
Too.
They could. It's really weird to me. Like, there was really there was golden. There's been golden ages of music.
Yeah.
There's been golden ages of comedy. Like,
Yeah.
in the
The
80s,
80s.
if you got an HBO 1 hour comedy special, you were gold.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
how many people are great that didn't too? You know what I
Right.
mean? And
There's-
that was the other thing.
But
Yeah.
like Jake Johansson, people like that.
Right.
You know, Mark Maron.
Mark
Didn't make it
dude,
till way later. you know,
Albuquerque, by the way.
right?
Yeah.
Albuquerque.
And
dude.
he needs to come on this podcast.
His
his father lost his medical license.
Yes,
oh yeah,
he did.
he lives in the North
Wow.
Valley.
His
Yeah.
dad was a big old piece of shit.
That's what I've heard.
If you haven't watched his last special,
Yeah.
that is probably I watched that.
I love
and
it. I love
was-
how real that shit is.
I was like, this is a master class.
Really?
What's
Yeah.
it on?
You gotta. It's on HBO.
Is it?
Oh,
Oh, it
it's
is.
It's on Max,
It is.
and it is.
Shout out to my sister for her Max account, by the
Yeah,
way.
I am
Danielle,
telling
I love you.
I do too, man. Thanks for letting us use it.
Yeah, I'm not sure who I get my Max account from, but thank you for that.
No, but if you haven't watched Mark Maron's last comedy special, it is the best comedy special I've ever seen. I think it surpasses even Carlin and Pryor,
Really?
honestly, because it's so vulnerable and real, and he talked about things in a way that still made you laugh,
Yeah.
but it also made you think.
I watched that Carlin documentary.
Oh, it's amazing.
I
But-
watched it 300 million times, and I
But
cry every time.
The fact that they gloss, well, they don't gloss over, like they go over the times he wasn't like popular
Yeah.
and he was kind of
Yep.
shitty and
Yeah.
was like, it was a kind of hacky wordplay.
They don't gloss
jokes.
over. There's like a dude that was like,
Right. There's
who
a
is-
whole episode
Who's the
of it.
who's the comedian that's like, we went to go see him because we wanted to go see a washed up comic,
Yeah.
and then
Right.
he like smoked him. Hold on though. I want to talk to this fool for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You just said something that kind of irked me a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Okie doke.
So you were going to tell me that you go out and you strike and you go to the picket lines and you strike and then you use someone else's accounts. You don't pay money so that the artists get the money.
Oh, yes, that is correct.
Come on, dude. Am I wrong here on that?
Well, because the people who are striking did say don't cancel your Netflix or any
I
of
don't
your
have-
streaming accounts.
I don't have money.
Fair. That's fair.
fair. But I mean, you do realize the issue with that, right? Like,
I mean,
think
we're past the
may
Pirate
not.
Bay, which is what I
yeah,
like.
and I'm not shitting on you.
my
but-
argument for that is like, okay,
I-
there used to be right. At least Spotify, I'm
Yeah.
getting something.
Yeah.
Because I've had other wrestling.
You see where I'm coming
organizations-
from, though, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the art. That's how the artists get paid. The writer, the director, the blah blah blah.
No, the
And-
whole point is we don't get paid
Yeah,
from
they
streaming.
don't get paid.
Right, but because
Keep
literally
your streaming services because we don't get paid from it anyway.
right because but also part of it is people are all sharing, and so that the money is also not there fully. It is there, but it isn't. So Netflix alone figured out that they were having 85 million people stealing accounts.
Is this why I'm not
think-
on your Netflix account anymore?
It is part of it because
Well, I'm like, call me a socialist, but like,
Yeah.
if it was $25 a month but
Yeah.
you could unlimited,
Yeah.
like, right, right, how
Sure.
much money would they be?
Hey,
Well,
I
right.
own my own movies. I support
Yeah.
the film industry by buying and purchasing
makes me mad about-
actual movies.
We rented The Flash,
yeah.
Oh, nice. See, that is
but I was like, I think that movie would have been, it
Yeah.
would have done so much more good.
that
If
movie
if
was only one.
If Ezra Miller wasn't a
Yeah,
fucking
thank
criminal
you.
maniac,
Yeah.
He was.
it was a good movie.
It was
and
a
I was
good
like,
movie.
and also
one
like
third of that
the-
movie was good. If you just take
haven't
out
watched
Ezra
it.
Miller,
Well, and they
Right.
thought about recasting him,
But
and
I'm
then
like,
they
how much?
didn't.
But I was like, the fact that they stuck to their guns, I was like,
Yeah.
how
He's a-
good is this movie? This movie
he's a
must be the
good
shit. And it was.
actor.
It was
What was
amazing.
that movie where they put? You were in the movie, and they replaced
Which one?
Chris Delia with
oh,
Tig
Army
Notaro.
of the
Army of the
that
Dead.
was
Okay, so
fucking amazing.
Did you
Yeah.
know? Have you seen Army of the Dead?
Well, so my like not a lot. Well, if you know Manhigh's history and
Yeah.
stuff, like my my wife passed away.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah.
She was in that movie too.
Oh, really?
Oh.
She was on Daybreakers as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh.
But yeah, like if you, on Netflix, she was part of that project, and she's also
Well,
part
did
of,
you know they like digitally removed Chris D'Elia?
right when
Yeah.
they replaced her with Tig
Tig.
Notaro.
Tig
Right,
Toro.
because they
Right.
asked,
So good.
someone asked her, they're like, "What was it like working with Dave Bautista?" And she goes, "I don't know. I was never on set with
She
him."
was
Right,
over
right.
there.
Well, so also I've had clients too that I've given them haircuts, and they're.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, he stood in a thing like the airport thing where
Right.
they scanned him, and he's like, yeah, they gave me a day's work. And,
Yeah, and that's bullshit.
right.
Yeah.
And
I
so
mean, I'm not trying to like bag on Smiley for that. I'm just saying it's all bullshit.
right. And I do
But
think like
Artists are getting screwed over.
I was teaching
Yeah.
my kids about the trickle down thing.
Right.
Like,
oh,
yes,
oh, the old
Reaganomics?
Ryan-
me and my
Reaganomics.
dad, right?
Yeah.
Me and my dad were like, hey, they always say if like the corporation's doing well, you're doing well, right?
Bullshit.
They've never done better,
Yeah.
right? There's enough.
Reaganomics
There's enough.
Right,
never
there's
worked.
enough to fucking share.
Well, I mean, the heads of these companies
Make billions,
are
yeah.
making so
Millions.
much.
right. Well, and they
fucking
only
money.
make more and more bonuses.
Well,
and
and
shit.
Warner Brother Discovery came out with a thing, and they were like, "This is how much money we're going to lose because of
Did you see that article?
yes,
Oh.
because of this." No, hold on. They said this is just them. This is how much we're going to lose, and it is more money than the WGA is asking for all of it. And I'm like, that's
For-
insane.
For 3 years,
It's
their
like just
losses
one company's
coulda
losses.
covered our
Just-
request
yep.
for 3 years.
Yes,
right.
nuts.
Nuts.
It's one of
Smiley,
those
I
things-
didn't mean to jump on you. I just like my girlfriend is in the industry and she can't work right now.
All my
And-
best friends.
And when
A
people
lot
are
of
like,
my friends
"Oh,
are
I-" you know,
writers,
yeah,
and I
tough,
have
man.
done some freelance writing
Yeah.
work. And I'm going to tell you that it is really hard to pick up freelance writing work because
There's
the
nothing.
world's most amazing writers are out of work right now. So I actually interviewed for a job that was
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
going to be perfect for me. It was literally reviewing the trash TV that I watch.
oh,
Yo,
wow.
Right?
My wife and I like that was one of our things was like I fucking love like we'll watch like Love is Blind.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Oh my God,
like,
Love is Blind.
all of that like
Okay.
I'm into Sister Wives right now.
no
'Cause
okay,
it's all
Seeking
falling apart.
brother husbands.
Oh yeah, that one's good
That
too.
is our shit.
But
yeah.
I
or
was-
I Love a Mama's Boy.
Oh.
Like
But
oh my god.
So I got really far in the interviews. I was
Yeah.
so stoked, right? And do you know what happened?
Someone came in and goes, "I want that job."
Ace Rider came in?
I was up against a staff writer for a very popular TV show because they need money.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's fair. I mean, that makes me feel good that
Do
you
they-
liked my writing.
Do they not have a central where they can go work? You know,
Well-
two hands.
I mean there's always right, yeah.
Yeah, auditions are rough right now.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
Very
Well,
little.
because you guys are limited to what you could do, and then on top of that, like again, the world's best.
You know that
Yeah.
if it comes January, that Comic-Con here they can't have actors.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, well,
anybody-
nobody's. I listen to a lot of podcasts
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and they don't even promote
No.
their own specials and stuff like
No.
that.
They can't.
Well,
They
they
can't.
can't.
They're not allowed to on podcasts. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. If
Yeah.
they're part of the guild, they can't.
Someone told me that I need to watch out, and I said, "You fucking watch out. You don't tell me,
don't tell us. That, hey, it's Duke City Championship Wrestling here, brother.
son of a bitch."
That's
Uh,
right, brother.
You know what the golden age of trash TV though was? VH1 when they had the
Yo.
the
No, I.
the
Behind
flavor
the music?
My
Flavor
wife.
of Love?
No, Love and Hip Hop.
Rock
no.
of Love.
Love and Hip Hop.
Rock of Love.
Oh, Rock
Love
of
and
Love
Hip
was my
Hop.
jam.
The Flavor of Love.
Flavor of Love, like dude, that was the worst shit ever.
Oh,
but
no, no,
amazing.
no.
But
it's
amazing.
like, you know what I love about it is I'm
Oh.
like, the more we saturate the shit,
Oh.
the less there are people that are
Ugh.
trying to like make a name,
Yeah.
right? So like you watch like we watched The Ultimatum
Yeah.
recently.
I don't know
All
what that
of
is.
The
Yeah.
Ultimatum is a
Oh, that one is.
it's a
cool.
show where people are like, you either get engaged to marry me
Uh-huh.
or we're done.
Or we're
Oh, yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah.
And they date
and
other
they switch
people.
they switch couples.
Yeah.
Really?
But so I like that one. I love Love Is Blind because it's
What
all a
the-
shit show.
What about
But
Farmer Wants a Wife?
I
We
haven't
watched that.
seen that one.
yeah.
I've seen all of it.
What is that one on?
It's
It's on Hulu.
yeah.
I need to watch that.
Yeah.
I believe
Okay,
it's on
but
Hulu.
here's what I'm into. Do you guys want to
guys.
hear some
You
cheese?
guys.
Yes.
So I really like the 90 Day Fiance stuff,
Love it.
but my favorite
Well,
one.
no, so we never got so into 90 Day because we just got Paramount Plus.
Oh well, you just wait. So
let me answer this question real quick, and then
Okay.
you go. Miz came from
He did.
He came from Road Rules
Yeah.
and the Challenge. Yes, on
Yes.
on
That's
MTV.
I thought he was cheesy back then.
Yeah, but sorry, go ahead.
So, it's fine. Don't apologize. So there is a show called 90 Day the Other Way.
Right.
Where people meet people that live somewhere else,
Oh.
and instead of them coming here, they move there. So there's a couple, Paul and Kareen. Well, my favorite
Oh, I know
couple
them. I know
is
them. I'm just kidding.
Jenny and Sumit, because that was a shit show. But
Okay.
Paul and Kareen, they were on 90 Day Fiancé.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a habit. This is important to the cheeseway. He has a habit. In one of the first episodes, he tells her like something about himself, and then he ran. And she lives in Brazil, which is very scary. And he just like left her there.
I'm
and he
familiar
ran.
with this couple because like
What?
yeah.
Sorry.
No,
But-
he was like really into the Brazilian thing.
No,
was
he
like-
hated it.
I'm loving
Right, but, like-
how Smiley's
Oh,
freaking
but he
out.
wore like bulletproof vests and all this stuff, and he's like this weird dude.
Dude, you're not gonna make it if
No,
you're.
he's anyway. So he, okay, there was a guy who was on The Bachelorette, and then he tried dating like all the 90 Day Fiancé ladies, and a couple weeks ago he faked his death
What the
on
fuck?
Instagram.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he also
I love
kind of
that.
dated Kareen.
Mad respect, bro.
So then the next
love
day, I can't make this up. The next day after we found out that guy faked his death,
Did he like flunk out of
Kareen's-
like fucking like cordon bleu?
I don't know what happened.
By the way, my dad taught at Le Cordon Bleu in San
Oh.
Francisco.
Oh,
The only
that's
person I
cool.
know that's ever faked their death
Shout
was
out
'cause
Richard.
Oh
he
yeah.
flunked out of cordon bleu, and
No,
he was like,
it's easier
his
to
death.
fake your death now if
That's
you're like
fucking-
a celebrity, especially of these trash TV shows
Yeah.
where people follow you on Instagram.
Right.
And then he said that
What
he.
people love, like that's the thing though. So I'm like, the more we saturate, the less important it is.
Right.
Because
It
like
gets-
people are like, well, fucking Paulie D from Jersey Shore
Yeah.
is gonna be at this club.
right.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
standing there.
And they're gonna make $20,000,
Yes.
right? I'm like, the
Well-
less we have of that, and the more we have of like,
Music and artists.
because you can tell like the last season of The Ultimatum was fucking weak
Yeah.
because like you could tell it's a bunch of people that are like
Yeah.
they want to be on TV,
Yeah.
and I'm
Well-
like, we gotta weed those people out.
Right.
Well, so Kareen, the next day after the guy she dated faked his death, posted a thing about how Paul was missing in Brazil. And all of us who watch these shows were like, oh, that makes sense, though, because he like ran away. But she made all these posts that made it sound like he had died. And then she shared like a thing about life insurance and how you should have life insurance. So their kids are in foster care. They're not doing well.
Wow.
Come to find out, he ran away again, but he ended up in some weird, like very rural area of Brazil. And he texted his mom that he just sent her a text that was like, please send help, I'm lost. But he had no signal. So then his mom was like, oh my God, he really is lost. Anyway, they found him.
Uh-huh.
But Kareen saw that because this other guy had like faked his death and got all this attention because they were not asked to come back to 90 Day Fiancé
Right.
the other way or whatever. I think she thought they were going to ask her to come back, which they might, because honestly, I would pay so much good money to watch that shit show unfold.
Well, that's when you have to go private and fucking follow their
Yeah, well,
personal bullshit, right? Like,
when you fake your death, the point is for people not to find you again.
Right.
no,
Right.
but like that's when it becomes
Well,
like
or you're
Well,
not-
but they're not faking their
you're-
death for people to think they're dead.
They're
They're doing it for the attention.
There you go.
Right.
I was gonna say you figure
That's
death.
the wrong way to
the
do
other
it.
the other reason is to fake your death because you're not relevant, right?
Yep.
And the moral of the story is I'm number 2 in my fantasy league for the challenge right now. I do the challenge. You know the challenge?
Oh, I love the
I-
challenge.
MTV's the challenge.
oh, okay,
I'm into Corey.
You know what I'm
for
talking
the
about?
Challenge.
It used to
I
be
have
the
no
real
idea.
world versus the road
Road
rules
rules?
challenge.
right.
Anyway, I do the fantasy league, and I'm number 2 right now.
I'm very
Oh, wow.
into Corey from the challenge.
Fuck
because
Corey.
You guys.
Why? I like
Corey
I
sucks.
like Teen Mom. I
Corey.
can't help it.
Corey.
Isn't that Theo Vaughn? Theo Vaughn was on the fucking
Yeah,
challenge.
correct.
Theo
Vaughn-
Vaughn was, yeah.
Yeah, and
Right,
the
the guy with the
Miz,
fake stories.
and
about-
the Miz, and
I know
I
a
love
guy that was
Um,
like Down syndrome.
what's
or
his
whatever.
name? Oh gosh, not Bert Kreischer, but the other guy.
Oh,
Bird
Fuck.
His friend?
Tom Segura?
Tom Segura.
Yeah.
Tom Segura's wife was also on the challenge.
I
She
love
was.
her.
Yeah.
Christina Pazinski.
I didn't
Christy
realize
P.
she was on
Christy
there.
P.
Yeah.
Because her and Theo were on there together. They,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, and there was rumors
That they
so
were-
I used to be a fucking
Yeah.
huge Your Mom's House fan.
Yep.
And like, so there was a period of time where I was like more into comedy podcasts than I ever was into music.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
I was
there's
like,
some
because I
good
used to
ones.
tour a lot. Like, it was just touring. And it was like, you're playing music every fucking night. And you're like, cool, like, whatever.
Who wants to hear that? I'm just kidding.
Well, the thing is, though, is like, I'm like, yeah, you get your fill of like cool local bands, like
Right.
in whatever town you're in, and like we made a lot of friends, and I like love and support them. But like, when you get in the car, you're like, I want
Right.
to listen to some comedy or some
yeah.
shit.
Almost something.
Because we have like fucking 3-4 hours.
What was
Or-
your favorite comedy podcast?
Well, so I used to love Your Mom's House, and I really think like I watched Tom Segura's last special. And I
Oh,
think
it's-
it sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. Right,
It
he's
was
like,
rough,
He's
right?
talking about how
Yeah.
hard it is to be how famous. he
I
is.
was so excited to watch it because I like Tom
It's
Segura,
rough.
No,
but then I
I-
watched it and I was like, come on, man.
It sucked. I thought it was like, well, it's like a lot of these comedy podcasts that we're like that I used to love. I'm like, oh shit. I used to love like the Norm Macdonald, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Norm Macdonald Live,
Yep.
because he'd make them read jokes off of
Yes.
cue cards
Yes.
that were like fucking super offensive.
Super
You know what
offensive.
sucked is I used to be a huge Whitney Cummings fan.
Yeah.
She was
did, yeah.
like my hero.
She was huge for a while.
And I loved her podcast. She had Benton, who was like her person. It was,
Right.
you know, she fired Benton or Benton quit. And
Right.
now all she does is brag about being famous.
Right,
And I had
that's
to
all it is. How
unfollow
hard
her.
these poor people, like
Yeah.
how hard it is to have as poor people
which
fucking
which
want
Yeah.
which
shit from me.
also goes to the point where like you have these artists like these comedians, they get so big that they get out of touch,
And then they're not funny anymore.
and they're not funny anymore, which really like highlights how amazing George Carlin was.
Yeah.
Right.
I watched
'Cause-
that happen to Roseanne.
George
Watching-
Carlin was so big. George Carlin was so big and famous and probably wealthy, you would never know it.
No.
He came out and he fired on all cylinders every
All the
single time.
I
That was
actually
always my
think he
thing.
got better the older he got because
Yeah.
I think he
Right.
got angrier and
And
he
didn't
talked
give a
about
shit.
stuff.
Was more in touch with the average person. I was
Yeah.
like that. My thing's always been like being a musician. Like I don't ever want to forget what like being a fucking regular person is like. You know what I mean?
I want to do a callback real quick.
Yeah.
So on my Instagram story, I posted the whipped cream with the vodka.
Cardi
and
B, yeah.
And Barney
I
Lopez,
literally walked past it.
and Barney Lopez goes, "It's good."
Oh,
So Barney Lopez gives his stamp of approval. So
Well,
Well, that's
maybe we
cool.
should
I
try
mean,
it.
you know, like I don't have anything against Cardi B.
Yeah.
But I also don't
oh!
want to.
Did you see Cardi B's Milli Vanilli moment thing?
no, she was fake singing.
Well, okay.
Was that when she threw the mic
I
at the
don't-
fucking
yes.
person in the crowd?
So first,
she threw
the
it and
news
like pegged this
story-
guy in the fucking
Yeah.
face.
First, the news
Oh,
story
that
was
one.
that like she threw the microphone at the guy, and somebody had said that it was because he was being a jerk or
Oh, I
something.
thought he threw something on her.
No,
Yeah, no.
somebody
Somebody threw a drink at her.
That's
yeah,
what happened.
And I
somebody
think
threw a drink,
she
and then
probably
she
hit
threw,
somebody that wasn't.
Well,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah,
She
yeah.
probably hit somebody that wasn't involved. at
Well,
all.
but she got a drink thrown at her because she was telling off the DJ who
Yeah.
was like in charge of her tracks or something because he messed up. And then that guy threw a drink on her, and then she threw the microphone, but she hit not the guy who threw that
Right.
who threw
Of
the
course
drink.
Not. Of course
This
not.
is why Manhigh Industries provides a completely organic rock and roll
Experience.
experience.
We'll
Yeah.
hit the people
Farm
that
to
deserve it
Farm
in
to
their
table.
face with the mic.
We are farm to table.
Yeah.
Okay. Farm to table organic rock and roll.
Oh,
Okay,
I got
this
camera.
is-
We're
This
we're about
is my-
we're about to end. So
Okay.
sorry.
Oh, yeah.
She was.
Oh no. Sorry.
Someone didn't go to the bathroom.
I
to
did go
break.
potty,
All right.
Every time.
That-
and I was on
it
camera
happens.
asking Chris to go to the bathroom.
Anyway,
That was
moral of
fun.
the story is the guy selling the microphone on eBay They did. No, they
Wait,
did. I'm not.
seriously?
I did
Really?
not make that up.
He deserves it though.
They said they were they're going to sue her and they're going to sell the
They
microphone.
should.
Oh, dude.
Kept that
You know
microphone?
this is why
Fucking
you have
A,
to
they
be.
kept that microphone.
Isn't
I
that theft?
100% have been talk shit to, and I'm like, oh, that's great, right?
Yeah.
In the background, I'm looking up where your mother lives.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure. I need to learn that
Just-
skill from you.
oh,
Yeah,
dude,
all
like
I'm
that's the thing.
saying
My
is if
wife,
someone
my wife
hits me-
thinks I'm chill. I'm fucking insane. Like I've been.
So don't fuck with Manhigh. Don't yell things out at him.
Well, you can yell things out, and I'll let that go. But like the second it's on paper,
Yeah.
if it's like documented digitally, I'm like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm like,
I laugh
fuck
all
you.
that off. Someone's always like, "See what someone said about you," and I think it's funny.
well, I'm like, that's why your mom.
I don't give a
It's
shit.
why your mom has Parkinson's. She's in this group home, right?
You know what? And like, I'm not a big fan of his music. I saw the first time I saw Kid Rock one time with a girlfriend. I wanted to go see him. We saw him at the amphitheater.
I think
at-
that's the only way a guy would see Kid Rock.
Well, I've seen him-
because like
I've now
you're trying to get pussy.
I'm not gonna say any more because I've seen him more than once. But
I
anyway,
like this. Somebody commented. I can vouch for Gabe's
yeah.
crazy.
So somebody, he's on stage and somebody threw a shoe
Oh.
and hit him in the face.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, I should have laughed so hard at that. But
he skips a beat and he keeps going. And then all of a sudden, like, he gets to a moment in the song where he can kind of pause and he's like, "Whoever threw that shoe, I'm going to fuck your girlfriend after the show."
oh,
And I
Right
was
with
like,
the hips.
Yep. And he
With
did the
the
hips.
hips.
He did the grind.
See,
And
that's
how
a
you
better
handle it.
way. That's a better way of doing it.
Yeah. And
Instead
I was
of
like,
just kicking me out because I hit you in the face with a
What's it?
line.
This dude talks shit. And I'd send him a picture of his mom, and I was
Yeah.
like, "That's her mom. That's her mom's Instagram. Like, I'm gonna fuck your mother."
that's a little psycho. I'm not going to lie. That's a little crazy.
It, while it is, it's just like I, you know, because of the things I've gone through, I was like
No, I got you.
tortured. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I was like,
yeah.
No.
just some people just thought they could say things, and
Right.
I'm like,
Yeah.
cool.
Well, we're
That's your mom,
and we didn't get into this, but you know, we're all artists and we're all like, you know, bent a little bit and
right?
Yeah.
a little bit of tragedy all over the place. And
And there's
Yeah.
things that I'm like, I'm super patient. My
Yeah.
my wife has called me the most patient person she's ever met, and
Yeah.
I do feel like I am very patient.
But you
I'm
have
like,
a threshold.
but are
I'm
you
like,
as patient
dude.
as Brody? She's acting like she's sleeping till you stand up.
dude, the second I
Second you stand
move,
up.
she's like, "Oh, you're fucking still here," you know.
We could go on way out. But
Absolutely.
I think
we got things to do, man.
we got things to do.
Absolutely.
I think. Thank you so much for being on the show. We'll have you back
Oh, please.
because we really got to get into some way more stuff.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you for coming on. Manhigh is playing Thursday at the Duke City Championship Wrestling
Absolutely. It's a tournament.
tournament.
Right,
It's
we're
the
in the
second
quarter-
round. The
we're in the
second round of the
quarterfinals.
tournament. Who's going to win the Duke City Championship World Heavyweight
I want to
title?
make some predictions.
Okay, go for it.
Right, we got Hobo Hank versus
Okay.
I think he's
He's fighting Thunder.
Thunder.
Oh.
Wait, is Hobo Hank and Thunder now?
No, sorry, it's Hobo Hank and Mosh Pit Mike.
Oh,
Mosh
okay.
Pit Mike. Okay,
And
so
Thunder and Turbo Tony.
Turbo Tony.
I was like, I thought they were
I do think
Well, it's a tournament. You can't.
I do think Thunder's got Turbo Tony. Mm-hmm. I do think
Okay.
Hobo Hank's got Mosh Pit Mike.
It's got his number.
Um,
Okay.
I do think
You know what,
it's
you-
just it's an experience.
You know,
game,
I
right?
know. You know, I know the answer, right?
I don't want to.
No, you don't.
The thing is,
Wait, I don't. Whoops.
The thing is, I'm counting on experience.
Yeah.
In this thing. Also, you can experience Manhigh.
Yeah.
6 p.m.
Yeah.
September
Come out, man.
14th
Buy your
at
tickets.
the El Rey Theater.
DCCWtickets.com.
Yeah. We don't have a promo code. Nothing. We're,
No.
we're not doing any of that shit.
No, the tickets aren't expensive.
No. Dude, literally, you
yeah.
don't have anything better going on a Thursday
No,
night.
fuck no.
Yeah.
And this will rock
Fuck your Thursday
world.
night.
Bring
like
out
this.
bring out your kids so they can get rowdy.
real,
and
I'm
and
bringing my
and
12-year-old
and then
son.
go to sleep whenever they get home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got, Hallian?
What do I have? Oh, Funny Fiesta. Please check out abqfunnyfiesta.com.
Yeah.
I'm on a few shows, but please support all the local comedians because we have a great scene right now. Kate Willett will be here. She's headlining at Cachette Dance Studio, and she is fucking phenomenal. She's from out of town, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you love comedy, please go see Kate Willett. She's
Nice.
amazing. Also, October 5th at Hollow Spirits. Please come to that. And Night of the Living
I love
cover
that
bands on October 27th to benefit suicide awareness and
Night
prevention.
of Living cover comics.
Oh, Night of the Living cover.
I was like, whoa, what are you doing with that?
now Barney really is going to
Oh,
get me.
Barney's going to fuck you
He's
up.
gonna fuck me up. Anyway, so Night of the Living cover comics, October 27th.
Dry
All
heat.
proceeds go to suicide prevention and awareness.
I love that.
I have October 1st. I'll be on stage with Drake in Cincinnati. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody's like, whoa, 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 whoa. September 30th, I will be at Santa Fe Brewing up at the Main. If you've never been up there, it's amazing. I'll be hosting October
I've been trying
Fiesta.
to play in Santa Fe for a long time.
I-
by the way. If you're out there, Santa Fe Brewing,
Well,
Come
you know
on.
I know all of them, right?
come on.
No, I'm friends with all those people.
Like Augustine,
I know the owners. I know the GM.
Yeah.
I know all those people, man. If you want me
bring
to talk to them,
Manhigh.
I'll talk to them.
Please.
I'll be all, this is a band in Albuquerque. You shouldn't play. They play for our wrestling federation. So, yeah, I'll pass on the word.
Sounds good.
They're good people, man. And then October 14th is a New Mexico Brew Fest. We have 10 tickets to give away. Follow us on social media. Follow us on Instagram.
I'm going to say tomorrow we will have a post
Yeah.
about how you can win
Yeah.
tickets.
Follow us. I mean, those tickets, go look how expensive they are. They're not cheap. And it's the best brew fest in New Mexico.
I think so.
The only one I go to. And I've been to every one of them, I think, except for one. And it's like 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
You know? I love it. So come out for that. We're going to do a live show from there. And everyone knows how much I fucking hate live shows.
I love it.
And I went out of my way to.
I live for
went,
'em.
as soon as they asked, I said yes. I went, yes, I will. I didn't, hum, him, ha. I said yes because I love it so much. All my friends love to go to it. It's great. I can see Holly Ann needs to pee really bad.
Really bad.
So,
So bad.
thank you guys for watching with that. We are,
are
10
10
drink
drink
minimum.
minimum.
Thank you.